the fourth book of Moses, called Numbers. Chapter 1. And the Lord spake to Moses in the desert of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the bond of peace, in the first day of the second month, in the 12th year of the going out of Egypt, and said, Take ye the sum, or the number, of all the congregation of the sons of Israel, by their kindreds, and families, and all their names each by themselves, whatever thing of male kind, from the 20th year and above, of all the strong men of Israel. And thou and Aaron shall number them by their companies. And the princes of the lineages, and of the families, in their kindreds, shall be with you. Of which princes, these be the names: of Reuben, Elizur, the son of Shedeur; of Simeon, Shelumiel, the son of Zurishaddai; of Judah, Nahshon, the son of Amminadab; of Issachar, Nethaneel, the son of Zur; of Zebulun, Eliab, the son of Helon; soothly of the sons of Joseph; of Ephraim, Elishama, the son of Ammihud; of Manasseh, Gamaliel, the son of Pedahzur; of Benjamin, Abidan, the son of Gideoni; of Dan, Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai; of Asher, Pagiel, the son of Okran; of Gad, Eliasaph, the son of Deuel; of Naphtali, Ahira, the son of Enan. These were the noblest princes of the multitude, by their lineages, and kindreds, and the heads of the host of Israel, the which princes Moses and Aaron took, with all the multitude of the common people. And they gathered in the first day of the second month, and they told them, by kindreds, and houses, and families, and heads, and names of each by themselves, from the 20th year and above, as the Lord commanded to Moses. And of Reuben, the first begotten of Israel, were numbered, in the desert of Sinai, by their generations, and families, and houses, and by the names of all the heads, all thing that is of male kind, from 20 years and above, of men going forth to battle, 46,500. Of the sons of Simeon, by their generations, and families, and houses of their kindreds, were numbered, by the names and heads of all that is of male kind, from 20 years and above, of men going forth to battle, 59,300. Of the sons of Gad, by generations, and families, and houses of their kindreds, were numbered, by the names of all, from 20 years and above, all men that went forth to battle, 45,650. Of the sons of Judah, by generations, and families, and houses of their kindreds, by the names of all, from 20 years and above, all men that might go to battles, were numbered 470,600. Of the sons of Issachar, by their generations, and families, and houses of their kindreds, by the names of all, from 20 years and above, all men that went forth to battles, were numbered 450,400. Of the sons of Zebulun, by generations, and families, and houses of their kindreds, were numbered, by the names of all, from 20 years and above, all men that might go forth to battles, 750,400. Of the sons of Joseph, of the sons of Ephraim, by generations, and families, and houses of their kindreds, were numbered, by the names of all, from 20 years and above, all men that might go forth to battles, 40,500. Forsooth of the sons of Manasseh, by their generations, and families, and houses of their kindreds, were numbered, by the names of all, from 20 years and above, all men that might go forth to battles, 32,200. Of the sons of Benjamin, by generations, and families, and houses of their kindreds, were numbered, by the names of all, from 20 years and above, all men that might go forth to battles, 35,400. Of the sons of Dan, by generations, and families, and houses of their kindreds, were numbered, by the names of all, from 20 years and above, all men that might go forth to battles, 62,700. Of the sons of Asher, by generations, and families, and houses of their kindreds, were numbered, by the names of all, from 20 years and above, all men that might go forth to battles, 40,1,500. Of the sons of Naphtali, by generations, and families, and houses of their kindreds, were numbered, by the names of all, from 20 years and above, all men that might go forth to battles, 53,400. These men it be, which Moses and Aaron and the 12 princes of Israel numbered, each by their houses and kindreds. And all men of the sons of Israel, by their houses and families, from 20 years and above, that might go forth to battles, were altogether 600,000 and 3,000 men, and 550. Soothly the deacons in the lineage of their families were not numbered with them. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Do not thou number the lineage of Levi, neither set thou the sum of them with the sons of Israel, but thou shalt ordain him upon the tabernacle of witnessing, and upon all the vessels thereof, and upon whatever thing pertaineth to ceremonies, either sacrifices. They shall bear the tabernacle, and all the pertinences thereof, and they shall be in the service of it, and they shall set tents by compass of the tabernacle. When men shall go forth, or be removed, the deacons shall take down the tabernacle. When the tents shall be set, they shall set it up. Whoever of strangers nigheth, he shall be slain. Soothly the sons of Israel shall set tents, each man by his companies, and his fellowships, and his host. Forsooth the deacons shall set their tents by compass of the tabernacle, lest indignation be made on the multitude of the sons of Israel, and they shall watch in the keepings of the tabernacle of witnessing. Therefore the sons of Israel did by all things which the Lord commanded to Moses. Chapter 2. And the Lord spake to Moses and to Aaron, and said, All men of the sons of Israel shall set tents by the companies, signs, and banners, and houses of their kindreds, by compass of the tabernacle of bond of peace. At the east Judah shall set tents, by the companies of his host, and Nahshon, the son of Amminadab, shall be prince of the sons of Judah, and all the number of fighters of his kindred, 74,600. Men of the lineage of Issachar setted tents beside him, of which the prince was Nethaneel, the son of Zur, and all the number of his fighters, 54,400. Eliab, the son of Helon, was prince of the lineage of Zebulun. All the host of fighters of his kindred, 57,400. All that were numbered in the tents of Judah, were in 100,000 and fourscore thousand and 6,400, and they shall go out first by their companies. In the tents of the sons of Reuben, at the south coast, Elizur, the son of Shedeur, shall be prince. And all the host of his fighters, that were numbered, 46,500. Men of the lineage of Simeon setted tents beside him, of which the prince was Shelumiel, the son of Zurishaddai, and all the host of his fighters, that were numbered, 59,300. Eliasaph, the son of Ruel, was prince in the lineage of Gad, and all the host of his fighters, that were numbered, 45,650. All that were numbered of the tents of Reuben, 100,000 and 50,000 and 1,450, they shall go forth in the second place by their companies. Soothly the tabernacle of witnessing shall be raised up by the offices of deacons, and by their companies. As it shall be raised up by them, so it shall be taken down by them. All they shall go forth by their places and orders. The tents of the sons of Ephraim shall be at the west coast, of which the prince was Elishama, the son of Ammihud, and all the host of his fighters, that were numbered, 40,500. And with them was the lineage of the sons of Manasseh, of which the prince was Gamaliel, the son of Pedahzur. All the host of his fighters, that were numbered, were 32,200. In the lineage of the sons of Benjamin, the prince was Abidan, the son of Gideoni, and all the host of his fighters, that were numbered, were 35,400. All men that were numbered in the tents of Ephraim were in 100,000 and 8,100. They shall go forth in the third place by their companies. At the north coast the sons of Dan setted tents, of which the prince was Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai. All the host of his fighters, that were numbered, were 62,700. And men of the lineage of Asher setted tents beside him, of which the prince was Pagiel, the son of Okran. And all the host of his fighters, that were numbered, were 41,500. Of the lineage of the sons of Naphtali, the prince was Ahira, the son of Enan. And all the host of his fighters, were 53,400. All that were numbered in the tents of Dan were in 100,007 and 50,600. They shall go forth the last. This is the number of the sons of Israel, by the houses of their kindreds, and by companies of the host parted, 600,000 and 3,550. Soothly the deacons were not numbered among the sons of Israel. For God commanded so to Moses. And the sons of Israel did by all things which the Lord commanded. They setted tents by their companies, and they went forth by the families, and houses of their fathers. Chapter 3. These be the generations of Aaron and of Moses, in the day in which the Lord spake to Moses, in the hill of Sinai. And these be the names of the sons of Aaron: his first engendered, Nadab; afterward, Abihu, and Eleazar, and Ithamar. These be the names of Aaron's sons, priests, that were anointed, and whose hands were filled and hallowed, that they should be set in priesthood. Nadab and Abihu, when they offered alien fire in the sight of the Lord, in the desert of Sinai, were dead without free children. And Eleazar and Ithamar were set in priesthood before Aaron their father. And the Lord spake to Moses, saying, Present thou the lineage of Levi, and make it to stand in the sight of Aaron, the priest, that they minister to him, and watch, and that they keep whatever thing pertaineth to the religion of the multitude, before the tabernacle of witnessing, and that they keep the vessels of the tabernacle, and serve in the service of it. And thou shalt give by free gift the Levites to Aaron and to his sons, to whom they be given of the sons of Israel. Soothly thou shalt ordain Aaron and his sons on the religion of priesthood. A stranger that nigheth for to minister, shall die. And the Lord spake to Moses, saying, I have taken the Levites of the sons of Israel for each first engendered thing that openeth the womb in the sons of Israel. And the Levites shall be mine, for each first engendered thing is mine. Since the time I smote the first engendered thing in the land of Egypt, I have hallowed to me whatever thing is born first in Israel. From man unto beast they be mine. I am the Lord. And the Lord spake to Moses in the desert of Sinai, and said, Number thou the sons of Levi by their fathers' houses, and by their families, each male from 1 month and above. Moses numbered them, as the Lord commanded. And the sons of Levi were found, by their names, Gershon, and Kohath, and Merari. The sons of Gershon were Libni, and Shimei. The sons of Kohath were Amram, and Izhar, Hebron, and Uzziel. And the sons of Merari were Mahli, and Mushi. Of Gershon were 2 families, of Libni, and of Shimei. Of which the people of male kind was numbered, from 1 month and above, 7,500. These shall set tents behind the tabernacle at the west part, under the prince Eliasaph, the son of Lael. And they shall have the keepings in the tabernacle of bond of peace, the tabernacle itself, and the covering thereof, the tent that is drawn before the gates of the covering of the witnessing of the bond of peace, and the curtains of the great entry, also the tent that is hanged in the entering of the great entry of the tabernacle, and whatever thing pertaineth to the use of the altar, the cords of the tabernacle, and to all the service thereof. The kindred of Kohath shall have the peoples of Amram, and of Izhar, and of Hebron, and of Uzziel. These be the families of Kohathites, numbered by their names, all of male kind, from 1 month and above, 8,600. They shall have the keepings of the sanctuary, and they shall set their tents at the south coast thereof, and the prince of them shall be Elizaphan, the son of Uzziel. And they shall keep the ark, and the table, and the candlestick, the altars, and the vessels of the sanctuary in which it is served, and the veil, and all such manner pertinence. Soothly the prince of princes of Levites shall be Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, and he shall be upon the keepers of the keeping of the sanctuary. And soothly of Merari shall be the peoples of Mahli, and of Mushi, numbered by their names, all the male kind, from 1 month and above, 6,200. The prince of them shall be Zuriel, the son of Abihail. They shall set their tents in the north coast. And under the keeping of them shall be the tables of the tabernacle, and the bars, and the pillars, and the foundaments of those, and all things that pertain to such adorning, and the pillars of the great entry by compass, with their bases, and the stakes with their cords. Forsooth Moses, and Aaron with his sons, shall set their tents before the tabernacle of bond of peace, that is, at the east coast, and shall have the keeping of the sanctuary, in the midst of the sons of Israel. Whatever alien nigheth thereto, he shall die. All the Levites, which Moses and Aaron numbered, by the commandment of the Lord, by their families, in male kind, from 1 month and above, were 22,000. And the Lord said to Moses, Number thou the first begotten of male kind of the sons of Israel, from 1 month and above, and thou shalt have the sum, or the number, of them. And thou shalt take the Levites to me for all the first begotten of the sons of Israel. I am the Lord. And thou shalt take their beasts for all the first begotten of the sons of Israel. And as the Lord commanded, Moses numbered the first begotten children of the sons of Israel. And the males were by their names, from 1 month and above, 22,273. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Take thou the Levites for the first begotten of the sons of Israel, and take the beasts of the Levites for the beasts of them, and the Levites shall be mine. I am the Lord. Forsooth in the price of 273 persons, that pass the number of the Levites, of the first begotten of the sons of Israel, thou shalt take 5 shekels by each head, at the measure of the sanctuary, a shekel hath 20 halfpence. And thou shalt give the money to Aaron and to his sons, the price of them that be numbered above. Therefore Moses took the money of them that were numbered above, and which they had again bought of the Levites, for the first begotten of the sons of Israel, 1,365 of shekels, by the weight of the sanctuary, and he gave that money to Aaron and to his sons, by the word that the Lord commanded to him. Chapter 4. And the Lord spake to Moses and to Aaron, and said, Take thou the sum, or the number, of the sons of Kohath, from the midst of Levites, by their houses and families, from the 30th year and above unto the 50th year, of all that enter, that they stand and minister in the tabernacle of the bond of peace. This is the religion of the sons of Kohath. Aaron and his sons shall enter into the tabernacle of the bond of peace, and into the holy of holy things, when the tents shall be moved. And they shall do down the veil that hangeth before the gates, and they shall wrap in it the ark of witnessing, and they shall cover it again with a veil of jacinthine skins, and they shall stretch forth above a mantle all of jacinth, and they shall lead in bearing staves. Also they shall wrap the board of proposition, that is, setting forth, in a mantle of jacinth, and they shall put therewith censers, and spoons of gold, little cups, and great cups to flowing sacrifices to be shed. Loaves shall ever be in the board. And they shall stretch forth there above a red mantle, which they shall cover again with a covering of jacinthine skins, and they shall lead in the bearing staves. They shall take also a mantle of jacinth with which they shall cover the candlestick, with his lanterns, and tongs, and snuffers, and all the oil vessels that be needful to the lanterns to be ordained. And upon all these things they shall put a covering of jacinthine skins, and they shall bring, or lead, in the bearing staves. Also they shall wrap the golden altar in a cloth of jacinth. And they shall stretch forth above it a covering of jacinthine skins, and they shall lead in bearing staves. They shall wrap in a mantle of jacinth all the vessels in which it is ministered in the sanctuary, and they shall stretch forth above it a covering of jacinthine skins, and they shall lead in the bearing staves. But also they shall cleanse the altar from ashes, and they shall wrap it in a cloth of purple. And they shall put with it all the vessels which they use in the service thereof, that is, the resets of fire, the tongs, and flesh hooks, and other hooks, and the censers, or the pans of coals. They shall cover all the vessels of the altar together in a veil of jacinthine skins, and they shall lead in the bearing staves. And when Aaron and his sons have wrapped the sanctuary, and all vessels thereof, in the moving of tents, then the sons of Kohath shall enter, that they bear the things wrapped, and touch not the vessels of the sanctuary, lest they die. These be the burdens of the sons of Kohath in the tabernacle of bond of peace. On which Eleazar, the son of Aaron, priest, shall be, to whose care the oil pertaineth to ordain lanterns, and the incense which is made by craft, and the sacrifice which is offered ever, that is, in each day, and the oil of anointing, and whatever thing pertaineth to the adorning of the tabernacle, and of all vessels that be in the sanctuary. And the Lord spake to Moses and to Aaron, and said, Do not ye lose, or destroy, the people of Kohath from the midst of the Levites. But do ye this thing to them, that they live, and die not, if they touch the holy of holy things. Aaron and his sons shall enter, and they shall dispose the works of all the sons of Kohath, and they shall part what who oughteth to bear. Other men see not by any curiosity those things that be in the sanctuary, before that those be wrapped, else they shall die. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Take thou the sum, or the number, also of the sons of Gershon, by their houses, and families, and kindreds. Number thou them from 30 years and above unto 50 years, all that enter and serve in the tabernacle of the bond of peace. This is the office of the sons of Gershonites, that they bear the curtains of the tabernacle, and the roof, or covering, of the bond of peace, another covering, and the veil of jacinth that shall be above all things, and the tent that hangeth in the entry of the tabernacle of the bond of peace, and the curtains of the great entry, and the veil in the entry, that is before the tabernacle. When Aaron commandeth and his sons, the sons of Gershon shall bear all things that pertain to the altar, the cords, and the vessels, or instruments, of their service, and all they shall know, to what charge they ought to be bound. This is the office of the families of Gershonites, in the tabernacle of bond of peace, and they shall be under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, priest. Also thou shalt number the sons of Merari, by the families and houses of their fathers, from 30 years and above unto 50 years, all that enter to the office of their service, and to the adorning of the bond of peace of witnessing. These be their charges. They shall bear the tables of the tabernacle, and the bars thereof, the pillars, and their foundaments. Also the pillars of the great entry by compass, with their foundaments, and their stakes, and their cords. And they shall take all the instruments and the pertinence of the tabernacle, by number, and so they shall bear them. This is the office of the family of Merarites, and the service in the tabernacle of the bond of peace. And they shall be under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the priest. Therefore Moses and Aaron and the princes of the synagogue numbered the sons of Kohath, by the kindreds, and houses of their fathers, from 30 years and above unto the 50th year, all that enter to the service of the tabernacle of bond of peace, and they were found 2,750. This is the number of the people of Kohath, which entereth into the tabernacle of bond of peace. Moses and Aaron numbered these, by the word of the Lord, by the hand of Moses. And the sons of Gershon were numbered, by the kindreds and houses of their fathers, from 30 years and above unto 50 years, all that enter that they serve in the tabernacle of bond of peace, and they were found 2,630. This is the people of Gershonites, that Moses and Aaron numbered, by the kindreds and houses, by the word of the Lord. And the sons of Merari were numbered, by the kindreds, and houses of their fathers, from 30 years and above unto 50 years, all that enter to fulfill the customs, or the services, of the tabernacle of the bond of peace, and they were found 3,200. This is the number of the sons of Merari, which Moses and Aaron numbered, by the commandment of the Lord, by the hand of Moses. All that were numbered of the Levites, and which Moses and Aaron and the princes of Israel made to be numbered, by the kindreds, and houses of their fathers, from 30 years and above unto 50 years, and entered to the service of the tabernacle, and to bear the charges thereof, were together 8,580. By the word of the Lord Moses numbered them, each man by his office and his charges, as the Lord commanded to him. Chapter 5. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Command thou to the sons of Israel, that they cast out of the tents each leprous man, and that floor without the seed, and that is defouled upon a dead body, cast ye out of the tents, as well a male as a female, lest they defoul those, when they dwell with you. And the sons of Israel did so. And they putted them out of the tents, as the Lord spake to Moses. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Speak thou to the sons of Israel, when a man either a woman hath done any of all the sins that be wont to fall to men, and have broken by negligence the behest of the Lord, and have trespassed, they shall acknowledge their sin, and they shall yield that head, or debt, and the fifth part above, to him against whom they sinned. But if none there is that shall receive that, they shall give it to the Lord, and it shall be the priest's part, besides the ram that is offered for cleansing, that it be a comethal sacrifice. Also all the firstfruits, which the sons of Israel offer, pertain to the priest, and whatever thing is offered of each man in the sanctuary, which a man hallowed, and gave to the hands of the priest, it shall be the priest's part. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Speak thou to the sons of Israel, and thou shalt say to them, If a man's wife hath erred, and hath despised her husband, and hath slept with another man, and the husband may not take, either prove this, but the adultery is hid, and may not be proved by witnesses, for she is not found in lechery. If the spirit of jealousy stirreth the husband against his wife, which is either defouled, either she is impeached by false suspicion, the man shall bring her to the priest, and he shall offer an offering for her, the 10th part of a measure called satin of barley meal. He shall not pour oil thereupon, neither he shall put incense thereto, for it is the sacrifice of jealousy, and an offering inquiring adultery. Therefore the priest shall offer her, and shall set her before the Lord. And he shall take holy water in an earthen vessel, and he shall put into it a little earth of the pavement of the tabernacle. And when the woman standeth in the sight of the Lord, the priest shall uncover her head, and he shall put upon her hands the sacrifice of remembering, and the offering of jealousy. Soothly he shall hold the most bitter waters, in which he hath gathered together curses with cursing. And he shall conjure her, and say, If an alien man slept not with thee, and if thou art not defiled in forsaking the bed of thine husband, these bitter waters shall not harm thee, into which I have gathered together curses. Else if thou bowedest away from thine husband, and art defiled, and hast lain with another man, thou shalt be subject to these cursings. The Lord give thee into cursing, and into ensample of all men in his people. The Lord make thine hip to wax rotten, and thy womb swell, and be it broken. These cursed waters enter into thy womb, and while thy womb swelleth, thine hip wax rotten. And the woman shall answer, Amen. Amen. And the priest shall write these curses in a little book. And he shall do away those curses with the bitterest waters, into which he gathered curses, and he shall give to her the waters to drink. And when she hath drunk those waters, the priest shall take of her hand the sacrifice of jealousy, and he shall raise it before the Lord, and he shall put it on the altar, so only that he take before an handful of that sacrifice that is offered, and burn it upon the altar, and so give drink to the woman the most bitter waters. And when she hath drunk those waters, if she is defouled, and is guilty of adultery, for her husband is despised of her, the waters of cursing shall pass through her, and while her womb is swollen, her hip shall wax rotten, and the woman shall be into cursing and into ensample to all the people. That if she is not defouled, she shall be harmless, and shall bring forth free children. This is the law of jealousy. If a woman boweth away from her husband, and is defouled, and the husband is stirred with the spirit of jealousy, and bringeth her into the sight of the Lord, and the priest doth to her by all things that be written, the husband shall be without sin, and she shall receive her wickedness. Chapter 6. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Speak thou to the sons of Israel, and thou shalt say to them, When a man either a woman maketh a vow, that they be hallowed, and they will hallow themselves to the Lord, they shall abstain from wine, and from all thing that may make drunken. They shall not drink vinegar of wine, and of anything able to make drunken, and whatever thing is pressed out of the grape. They shall not eat fresh grapes and dry, all days in which they be hallowed by a vow to the Lord. They shall not eat whatever thing may be of the vinery, from the rind till to the little grains that be in the midst of the grape. All the time of his separating, or of his avow holding, a razor shall not pass upon his head, unto the day be fulfilled in which he is hallowed to the Lord. He shall be holy, and the hair of his head shall wax. In all the time of his hallowing, he shall not enter upon a dead body, and soothly he shall not be defouled upon the dead body of his father and of his mother, of brother and of sister, for the hallowing of his God is upon his head. Each day of his separating, or avowing, shall be holy to the Lord. But if any man is dead suddenly before him, the head of his hallowing shall be defouled, which he shall shave anon in the same day of his cleansing, and again in the 7th day. Forsooth in the 8th day he shall offer 2 turtles, either 2 birds of a culver, to the priest, in the entering of the bond of peace of witnessing. And the priest shall make, or offer, one for sin, and the tother into burnt sacrifice. And the priest shall pray for him, for he sinned upon a dead body, and he shall hallow his head in that day. And he shall hallow to the Lord the days of his separating, and he shall offer a lamb of 1 year for his sin, so nevertheless that the former days be made void, for his hallowing is defouled. This is the law of hallowing. When the days shall be fulfilled, which he deemed to fulfill by a vow, the priest shall bring him to the door of the tabernacle of bond of peace, and he shall offer his offering to the Lord, a lamb of 1 year without wem, into burnt sacrifice, and a sheep of 1 year without wem, for sin, and a ram without wem, a peaceable sacrifice. Also a basket of the loaves, that be sprinkled together with oil, and cakes sodden in water, and after anointed with oil, without sourdough, and flowing sacrifices of all these by themselves, which the priest shall offer before the Lord, and he shall make, or offer these, as well for sin as into burnt sacrifice. Soothly he shall offer the ram a peaceable sacrifice to the Lord, and he shall offer therewith a basket of the loaves, and flowing sacrifices, that be due by custom. Then the Nazarite, or he that is hallowed, shall be shaven from the hair of his hallowing, before the door of the tabernacle of bond of peace, and the priest shall take his hairs, and he shall put them upon the fire, which is put under the sacrifice of peaceable things. And he shall take the shoulder sodden of the ram, and the cake from the basket, and the cake first sodden in water and afterward fried in oil, and he shall betake them into the hands of the Nazarite, after that his head is shaven. And the priest shall raise in the sight of the Lord the things taken again of him. And those things hallowed shall be the priest's part, as the breast which is commanded to be separated, and the hip. After these things the Nazarite may drink wine. This is the law of the Nazarite, when he hath avowed his offering to the Lord, in the time of his consecration, or hallowing, besides these things which his hand findeth. By this that he avowed in soul, or in wool, so he shall do, to the perfection of his hallowing. And the Lord spake to Moses and said, Speak thou to Aaron and to his sons. Thus ye shall bless the sons of Israel, and ye shall say to them, The Lord bless thee, and keep thee. The Lord show his face to thee, and have mercy upon thee. The Lord turn his cheer to thee, and give peace to thee. They shall call inwardly my name on the sons of Israel, and I shall bless them. Chapter 7. And it was done in the day in which Moses fulfilled, or ended, the tabernacle, and reared it, and anointed it, and hallowed it with all the vessels, or instruments, thereof, and the altar he hallowed in like manner, and the vessels thereof. And the princes of Israel, and the heads of families, that were, by all lineages, the sovereigns of them that were numbered, offered gifts before the Lord, 6 wains covered, with 12 oxen. 2 dukes offered 1 wain, and each offered 1 ox. And they offered those wains before the tabernacle. Soothly the Lord said to Moses, Take thou of them, that they serve in the service of the tabernacle, and betake thou those things to the deacons, by the order of their service. And so when Moses had taken the wains, and the oxen, he betook them to the deacons. He gave 2 wains and 4 oxen to the sons of Gershon, after that they had need. He gave 4 other wains and 8 oxen to the sons of Merari, by their offices and religion, under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the priest. Forsooth he gave not wains and oxen to the sons of Kohath, for they serve in the sanctuary, and bear the charges with their own shoulders. Therefore the dukes offered, in the hallowing of the altar, in the day in which it was anointed, their offering to the Lord, before the altar. And the Lord said to Moses, All the dukes by themselves offer they gifts, by all days by themselves, into the hallowing of the altar. Nahshon, the son of Amminadab, of the lineage of Judah, offered his offering in the first day, and a silver vessel to prove incense and such things, in the weight of 130 shekels, a basin of silver, having 70 shekels by the weight of the sanctuary, ever either full of flour sprinkled together with oil, into sacrifice, a spoon of 10 golden shekels, full of incense. He offered an ox of the drove, and a ram, and a lamb of 1 year, into burnt sacrifice, and a buck of goats, for sin. And he offered in the sacrifice of peaceable things, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 goat bucks, 5 lambs of 1 year. This is the offering of Nahshon, the son of Amminadab. In the second day, Nethaneel, the son of Zur, duke of the lineage of Issachar, offered a silver vessel to prove incense and such things, weighing 130 shekels, a silver basin, having 70 shekels by the weight of the sanctuary, ever either full of flour sprinkled together with oil, into sacrifice, a golden spoon, having 10 shekels, full of incense, an ox of the drove, and a ram, and a lamb of 1 year, into burnt sacrifice, and a buck of goats, for sin. And in the sacrifice of peaceable things he offered 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 goat bucks, 5 lambs of 1 year. This was the offering of Nethaneel the son of Zur. In the 3rd day, Eliab, the son of Helon, the prince of the sons of Zebulun, offered a silver vessel to prove incense and such things, weighing 130 shekels, a silver basin, having 70 shekels at the weight of sanctuary, ever either full of flour sprinkled together with oil, into sacrifice. A golden spoon, weighing 10 shekels, full of incense. An ox of the drove, and a ram, and a lamb of 1 year, into burnt sacrifice. And a buck of goats, for sin. And in the sacrifice of peaceable things he offered 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 goat bucks, 5 lambs of 1 year. This is the offering of Eliab, the son of Helon. In the 4th day, Elizur, the son of Shedeur, the prince of the sons of Reuben, offered a silver vessel to prove incense and such things, weighing 130 shekels, a silver basin, having 70 shekels at the weight of sanctuary, ever either full of flour sprinkled together with oil, into sacrifice. A golden spoon weighing 10 shekels, full of incense. An ox of the drove, and a ram, and a lamb of 1 year, into burnt sacrifice. And a buck of goats, for sin. And into sacrifice of peaceable things he offered 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 goat bucks, 5 lambs of 1 year. This was the offering of Elizur, the son of Shedeur. In the 5th day, Shelumiel, the son of Zurishaddai, the prince of the sons of Simeon, offered a silver vessel to prove incense and such things, weighing 130 shekels, a silver basin, having 70 shekels at the weight of sanctuary, ever either full of flour sprinkled together with oil, into sacrifice. A golden spoon, weighing 10 shekels, full of incense. An ox of the drove, and a ram, and a lamb of 1 year, into burnt sacrifice. And a buck of goats, for sin. And into sacrifice of peaceable things he offered 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 goat bucks, 5 lambs of 1 year. This was the offering of Shelumiel, the son of Zurishaddai. In the 6th day, Eliasaph, the son of Deuel, the prince of the sons of Gad, offered a silver vessel to prove incense and such things, weighing 130 shekels, a silver basin, having 70 shekels at the weight of sanctuary, ever either full of flour sprinkled together with oil, into sacrifice. A golden spoon, weighing 10 shekels, full of incense. An ox of the drove, and a ram, and a lamb of 1 year, into burnt sacrifice. And a buck of goats, for sin. And into sacrifice of peaceable things he offered 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 goat bucks, 5 lambs of 1 year. This was the offering of Eliasaph, the son of Deuel. In the 7th day, Elishama, the son of Ammihud, the prince of the sons of Ephraim, offered a silver vessel to prove incense and such things, weighing 130 shekels, a silver basin, having 70 shekels at the weight of sanctuary, ever either full of flour sprinkled together with oil, into sacrifice. A golden spoon, weighing 10 shekels, full of incense. An ox of the drove, and a ram, and a lamb of 1 year, into burnt sacrifice. And a buck of goats, for sin. And into sacrifice of peaceable things he offered 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 goat bucks, 5 lambs of 1 year. This was the offering of Elishama, the son of Ammihud. In the 8th day, Gamaliel, the son of Pedahzur, the prince of the sons of Manasseh, offered a silver vessel to prove incense and such things, weighing 130 shekels, a silver basin, having 70 shekels at the weight of sanctuary, ever either full of flour sprinkled together with oil, into sacrifice. A golden spoon, weighing 10 shekels, full of incense. An ox of the drove, and a ram, and a lamb of 1 year, into burnt sacrifice. And a buck of goats, for sin. And into sacrifices of peaceable things he offered 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 goat bucks, 5 lambs of 1 year. This was the offering of Gamaliel, the son of Pedahzur. In the 9th day, Abidan, the son of Gideoni, the prince of the sons of Benjamin, offered a silver vessel to prove incense and such things, weighing 130 shekels, a silver basin, having 70 shekels at the weight of sanctuary, ever either full of flour sprinkled together with oil, into sacrifice. A golden spoon, weighing 10 shekels, full of incense. An ox of the drove, and a ram, and a lamb of 1 year, into burnt sacrifice. and a buck of goats, for sin. And into the sacrifice of peaceable things he offered 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 goat bucks, 5 lambs of 1 year. This was the offering of Abidan, the son of Gideoni. In the 10th day, Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai, the prince of the sons of Dan, offered a silver vessel to prove incense and such things, weighing 130 shekels, a silver basin, having 70 shekels at the weight of sanctuary, ever either full of flour sprinkled together with oil, into sacrifice. A golden spoon, weighing 10 shekels, full of incense. An ox of the drove, and a ram, and a lamb of 1 year, into burnt sacrifice. And a buck of goats, for sin. And into sacrifices of peaceable things he offered 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 goat bucks, 5 lambs of 1 year. This was the offering of Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai. In the 11th day, Pagiel, the son of Okran, the prince of the sons of Asher, offered a silver vessel to prove incense and such things, weighing 130 shekels, a silver basin, having 70 shekels at the weight of sanctuary, ever either full of flour sprinkled together with oil, into sacrifice. A golden spoon, weighing 10 shekels, full of incense. An ox of the drove, and a ram, and a lamb of 1 year, into burnt sacrifice. And a buck of goats, for sin. And into sacrifice of peaceable things he offered 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 goat bucks, 5 lambs of 1 year. This was the offering of Pagiel, the son of Okran. In the 12th day, Ahira, the son of Enan, the prince of the sons of Naphtali, offered a silver vessel to prove incense and such things, weighing 130 shekels, a silver basin, having 70 shekels at the weight of sanctuary, ever either full of flour sprinkled together with oil, into sacrifice. A golden spoon, weighing 10 shekels, full of incense. An ox of the drove, and a ram, and a lamb of 1 year, into burnt sacrifice. And a buck of goats, for sin. And into sacrifice of peaceable things he offered 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 goat bucks, 5 lambs of 1 year. This was the offering of Ahira, the son of Enan. These things were offered of the sons of Israel, in the hallowing of the altar, in the day in which it was hallowed, silver vessels to prove incense and such things 12, silver basins 12, golden spoons 12. So that one vessel to prove incense and such things had 130 shekels of silver, and one basin had 70 shekels, that is, in common, 2,400 shekels of all the vessels of silver, by the weight of sanctuary, golden spoons 12, full of incense, weighing 10 shekels, by weight of the sanctuary, that is, together, and 120 shekels of gold. Oxen of the drove into burnt sacrifice 12 rams, 12 lambs of 1 year, and the flowing sacrifices of those, 12 bucks of goats for sin. The sacrifices of peaceable things, 24 oxen, 60 rams, 60 goat bucks, 60 lambs of 1 year. These things were offered in the hallowing of the altar, when it was anointed. And when Moses entered into the tabernacle of bond of peace, to ask counsel of God's answering place, he heard the voice of God speaking to him from the propitiatory, which was on the ark of witnessing, betwixt 2 cherubims, from whence also God spake to Moses. Chapter 8. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Speak thou to Aaron, and thou shalt say to him, When thou hast set 7 lanterns, the candlestick be raised in the south part. Therefore command thou this, that the lanterns behold even against the north to the board of loaves of setting forth, those lanterns shall shine against that part that the candlestick beholdeth to. And Aaron did so, and he putted the lanterns upon the candlestick, as the Lord commanded to Moses. Soothly this was the making of the candlestick. It was of gold beaten out with hammers, as well the middle stalk, as all the things that came forth on either side of the rods, by the sample which the Lord showed to Moses, so he wrought the candlestick. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Take thou the Levites from the midst of the sons of Israel, and thou shalt cleanse them by this custom. Be they sprinkled with water of cleansing, or of purification, and shave they all the hairs of their flesh. And when they have washed their clothes and be cleansed, take they an ox of the droves, and the flowing sacrifice thereof, flour sprinkled together with oil. Forsooth thou shalt take another ox of the drove for sin. And thou shalt present the Levites before the tabernacle of the bond of peace, when all the multitude of the sons of Israel is called together. And when the Levites be presented before the Lord, the sons of Israel shall set their hands upon them, and Aaron shall offer, the Levites in the sight of the Lord, a gift of the sons of Israel, that they serve in the service of him. Also the Levites shall set their hands upon the heads of the oxen, of which oxen thou shalt make, or ordain, one for sin, and the tother into burnt sacrifice of the Lord, that thou pray for them. And thou shalt ordain the Levites in the sight of Aaron, and of his sons, and thou shalt sacred them offered to the Lord. And thou shalt separate them from the midst of the sons of Israel, that they be mine. And afterward enter they into the tabernacle of bond of peace, that they serve me. And so thou shalt cleanse and hallow them, into an offering of the Lord, for by free gift they be given to me of the sons of Israel. I have taken him for the first begotten things that open each womb in Israel. For all the first begotten things of the sons of Israel be mine, as well of men as of beasts, from the day in which I smote each first engendered thing in the land of Egypt, I hallowed him to me. And I took the Levites for all the first begotten of the sons of Israel, and I gave them by free gift to Aaron and to his sons, from the midst of the people, that they serve me for Israel, in the tabernacle of the bond of peace, and that they pray for them, lest vengeance be in the people, if they be hardy to nigh to the sanctuary. And Moses and Aaron, and all the multitude of the sons of Israel, did upon the Levites those things that the Lord commanded to Moses. And the Levites were cleansed, and they washed their clothes, and Aaron raised, or presented, them in the sight of the Lord, and he prayed for them, that they shall be cleansed, and should enter to their offices into the tabernacle of bond of peace, before Aaron and his sons, as the Lord commanded to Moses of the Levites. So it was done. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, This is the law of Levites. From 25 years and above they shall enter, for to minister in the tabernacle of bond of peace. And when they have filled the 50th year of age, they shall cease to serve. And they shall be the ministers of their brethren in the tabernacle of bond of peace, that they keep those things that be betaken to them. Soothly they shall not do those works, as they did before. Thus thou shalt dispose Levites in their keepings. Chapter 9. And the Lord spake to Moses, in the desert of Sinai, in the 2nd year after they went out of the land of Egypt, in the 1st month, and said, The sons of Israel make they Pasch in his time, that is, in the 14th day of this month, at eventide, by all the ceremonies and justifyings thereof. And Moses commanded to the sons of Israel, that they should make Pasch, which made Pasch in his time, in the 14th day of the month, at eventide, in the hill of Sinai, by all things that the Lord commanded to Moses, the sons of Israel did. Lo, forsooth some men unclean on the soul of man, that might not make Pasch in that day, nighed to Moses and to Aaron, and said to them, We be unclean on the soul of man. Why be we defrauded, that we may not offer an offering to the Lord in his time, among the sons of Israel? To which Moses answered, Stand ye aside, that I take counsel, what the Lord commandeth of you. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Speak thou to the sons of Israel, A man of your folk that is unclean upon a soul, either is in the way far, make ye Pasch to the Lord in the 2nd month, in the 14th day of the month, at eventide. With the loaves and lettuces of the field he shall eat it. They shall not leave anything thereof till to the morrowtide, and they shall not break a bone thereof. They shall keep all the custom of Pasch. Forsooth if any man is clean, and is not in the way, and nevertheless made not Pasch, that man shall be destroyed from his peoples, for he offered not sacrifice to the Lord in his time set, or covenable. He shall bear his sin. Also if a pilgrim and a comeling is with you, make ye Pasch to the Lord, by the ceremonies and the justifyings thereof. The same behest shall be with you, as well to a comeling as to a man born in the land. Therefore in the day in which the tabernacle was raised, a cloud covered it, soothly as the likeness of fire was on the tent, that is, tabernacle, from eventide till to the morrowtide. Thus it was done continually, a cloud covered it by day, and as the likeness of fire by night. And when the cloud that covered the tabernacle was taken away, then the sons of Israel went forth, and in the place where the cloud stood, there they setted tents. At the commandment of the Lord they went forth, and at his commandment they setted the tabernacle. In all the days in which the cloud stood upon the tabernacle, they dwelled in the same place. And if it befell that it dwelled much time upon the tabernacle, the sons of Israel were in the watches of the Lord, and they went not forth, in how many ever days the cloud was upon the tabernacle. At the commandment of the Lord they raised tents, and at his commandment they did them down. If the cloud was standing upon the tabernacle from the eventide unto the morrowtide, and anon in the morrowtide had left, or gone thence, they went forth. And if, after a day and a night, the cloud had gone away, they scattered, either did down, the tents. Whether in 2 months, either in 1 month, either in longer time, the cloud had been upon the tabernacle, the sons of Israel dwelled in the same place, and went not forth. But anon as it had gone away, they moved the tents. By the word of the Lord they settled their tents, and by his word they went forth. And they were in the watches of the Lord, by his commandment, by the hand of Moses. Chapter 10. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Make to thee 2 silver trumps, beaten out with hammers, by which thou mayest call together the multitude, when the tents shall be moved. And when thou shalt sound with trumps, all the company shall be gathered to thee at the door of the tabernacle of the bond of peace. If thou shalt trump with 1 trump, the princes and the chief men of the multitude of Israel shall come to thee. But if a longer and a parted trumping of 2 trumps shall sound, they that be at the east coast shall move their tents first. Forsooth in the second sound, and in like noise of the trump, they that dwell at the south coast shall raise their tents. And by this manner, other men shall do, when the trumps shall sound into going forth. Forsooth when the people shall be gathered together, simple cry of trumps shall be, and the trumps shall not sound partingly. The sons of Aaron, priest, shall sound with trumps, and this shall be a lawful thing everlasting in your generations. If ye shall go out of your land to battle against the enemies that fight against you, ye shall cry with trumps sounding, and the bethinking of you shall be before your Lord God, that ye be delivered from the hands of your enemies. If any time ye shall have a feast, and holidays, and calends, that is, the first day of the month, ye shall sing in trumps upon the burnt sacrifices, and peaceable sacrifices, that those be to you into remembering of your God. I am your Lord God. In the 2nd year, in the 2nd month, in the 20th day of the month, the cloud was raised from the tabernacle of bond of peace. And the sons of Israel went forth by their companies from the desert of Sinai. And the cloud rested in the wilderness of Paran. And the sons of Judah by their companies, of which the prince was Nahshon, the son of Amminadab, moved first tents, by the Lord's commandment, made in the hand of Moses. In the lineage of the sons of Issachar the prince was Nethaneel, the son of Zur. In the lineage of Zebulun the prince was Eliab, the son of Helon. And the tabernacle was taken down, which the sons of Gershon and Merari bare, and they went forth. And the sons of Reuben went forth by their companies and order, of which the prince was Elizur, the son of Shedeur. Forsooth in the lineage of the sons of Simeon the prince was Shelumiel, the son of Zurishaddai. Soothly in the lineage of Gad the prince was Eliasaph, the son of Deuel. And the sons of Kohath went forth, and bare the sanctuary, and they raised the tabernacle till to the coming of them. Also the sons of Ephraim, by their companies, moved their tents, in whose host the prince was Elishama, the son of Ammihud. Forsooth in the lineage of the sons of Manasseh the prince was Gamaliel, the son of Pedahzur. And in the lineage of Benjamin the duke was Abidan, the son of Gideoni. The sons of Dan, by their companies, went forth the last of all the tents, in whose host the prince was Ahiezer, the son of Ammishaddai. Soothly in the lineage of the sons of Asher the prince was Pagiel, the son of Okran. And in the lineage of the sons of Naphtali the prince was Ahira, the son of Enan. These be the tents and the goings forth of the sons of Israel, by their companies, when they went forth. And Moses said to Hobab, the son of Raguel, of Midian, his ally, either, father of his wife, We go forth to the place which the Lord shall give to us. Come thou with us, that we do well to thee, for the Lord promised good things to Israel. To whom he answered, I shall not go with thee, but I shall turn again into my land, in which I was born. And Moses said, Do not thou forsake us, for thou knowest in which places we ought to set tents, and thou shalt be our leader. And when thou shalt come with us, Whatever thing shall be best of the riches that the Lord shall give to us, we shall give to thee. And therefore they went forth from the hill of the Lord the way of 3 days. And the ark of the bond of peace of the Lord went before them, by those 3 days, and purveyed the places of their tents. And the cloud of the Lord was upon them by day, when they went forth. And when the ark was raised, Moses said, Rise thou, Lord, and thine enemies be scattered, and they that hate thee, flee from thy face. Forsooth when the ark was put down, he said, Lord, turn again to the multitude of the host of Israel. Chapter 11. In the meantime grouching of the people, as of men sorrowing for travail, rose against the Lord. And when Moses had heard this thing, he was wroth. And the fire of the Lord was kindled upon him, and devoured the last part of the tents. And when the people had cried to Moses, Moses prayed the Lord, and the fire was quenched. And he called the name of that place Burning, for the fire of the Lord was kindled against them. And the common people of men and women, that had gone up with them, burnt with desire of flesh, and they sat, and wept, with the sons of Israel joined together with them, and said, Who shall give us flesh to eat? We think upon the fish that we ate in Egypt freely. Gourds, and melons, and leeks, and onions, and garlic come into our mind. Our soul is dry. Our eyes behold none other thing than manna. Soothly manna was as the seed of coriander, of the color of bdellium, which is white and bright as crystal. And the people went about, and gathered it, and brake it with a quernstone, either pounded it in a mortar, and seethed it in a pot, and made thereof little cakes of the savour as of bread made with oil. And when dew came down in the night upon the tents, also manna came down together therewith. Then Moses heard the people weeping by families, and each of them by the doors of their tents. And the strong vengeance of the Lord was wroth greatly, but also the grouching was seen unsufferable to Moses. And he said to the Lord, Why hast thou tormented thy servant? Why find I not grace before thee? And why hast thou put the burden of all this people unto me? Whether I have conceived all this multitude, either have begotten it, that thou say to me, Bear thou them in thy bosom, as a nurse is wont to bear a little young child, and bear thou this people into the land for the which thou swore to their fathers. Whereof be meats to me, that I feed so great a multitude? They weep before me, and say, Give us flesh, that we eat. I may not alone sustain all this people, for it is grievous to me. If in other manner it seemeth to thee, I beseech thee, that thou slay me, and that I find grace in thine eyes, that I be not punished, or travailed, with so great evils. And the Lord said to Moses, Gather thou to me 70 men of the elder men of Israel, whom thou knowest to be eld men, and masters of the people, and thou shalt lead them to the door of the tabernacle of bond of peace, and thou shalt make them to stand there with thee, that I come down, and speak to thee. And I shall take away of thy spirit, and I shall give to them, that they sustain with thee the burden of the people, and not thou alone be grieved. And thou shalt say to the people, Be ye hallowed. Tomorrow ye shall eat flesh. For I heard you say, Who shall give us the meats of flesh? It was well to us in Egypt, that the Lord give you flesh, and ye eat not only 1 day, either 2, either 5, either 10, soothly neither 20 days, but till to a month of days, till it go out by your nostrils, and turn into loathing. For by your grouching ye have put away the Lord, which is in the midst of you, and ye wept before him, and said, Why went we out of Egypt? And Moses said to the Lord, 600,000 of footmen be of this people, and thou sayest, I shall give them to eat flesh an whole month. Whether the multitude of sheep and of oxen shall be able to be slain, that it may suffice this people to meat, either whether all the fishes of the sea shall be gathered together, that those fill them. To whom the Lord answered, Whether the Lord's hand is unmighty. Right now thou shalt see, whether my word shall be fulfilled in work. Therefore Moses came, and told the people the words of the Lord. And he gathered 70 men of the elders of Israel, which he made stand about the tabernacle. And the Lord came down by a cloud, and spake to Moses, and took away of the spirit that was in Moses, and gave to the 70 men. And when the spirit had rested in him, they prophesied, and moreover they ceased not. Forsooth 2 men dwelled still in the tents, of which men one was called Eldad, and the Tophah-Medad, on which the Spirit rested. For also they were described, or ordained, or chosen, and they went not out to the tabernacle. And when they prophesied in the tents, a young man ran, and told to Moses, and said, Eldad and Medad prophesy in the tents. Anon Joshua, the son of Nun, the servant of Moses, and chosen of many, said, My lord Moses, forbid thou them. And Moses said, What? Hast thou envy for me? Who giveth, whether not God, that all the people prophesy, and that God give his Spirit to them? And Moses turned again, and the elder men in birth of Israel, into the tents. Forsooth a wind went forth from the Lord, and it took curlews, and brought them over the sea, and he left them in the tents, in journey, as much as may be performed in one day, by each part of the tents by compass, and they flew in the air by 2 cubits in height above the earth. Therefore the people rose in all that day, and that night, and into the Tophah day, and gathered a multitude of curlews. He that gathered little, gathered 10 cors, and they dried those curlews by compass of the tents. Yet flesh was in their teeth, and such meat failed them not, and lo, the wrath of the Lord was raised against his people, and he smote it with a full great vengeance. And that place was called the sepulchres of covetousness, or lust, for there they buried the people that desired flesh. Soothly they went forth from the sepulchres of covetousness, or lust, and came into Hazeroth, and dwelled there. Chapter 12. Mari and Aaron spake against Moses, for his wife a woman of Ethiopia, and they said, Whether God spake his will only by Moses? Whether he spake not also to us in like manner? And when the Lord had heard this, he was wroth greatly. For Moses was the mildest man, over all men that dwelled in earth. And suddenly the Lord spake to Moses and to Aaron and to Mari, Go out ye 3 alone to the tabernacle of the bond of peace. And when they were gone in, the Lord came down in a pillar of cloud, and he stood in the entering of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Mari. And when they had gone forth, he said to them, Hear ye my words. If any among you is a prophet of the Lord, I shall appear to him in revelation, either I shall speak to him by a dream. And he said, And my servant Moses is not such, the which is most faithful in all mine house. For I speak to him mouth to mouth, and he seeth God openly, and not by dark speeches, either dark likenesses, and figures. Why therefore dreaded ye not to backbite my servant Moses? And the Lord was wroth against them, and he went away. And the cloud went away, that was on the tabernacle, and lo, Mari appeared shining with leprosy, white as snow. And when Aaron beheld her, and saw her besprinkled with leprosy, he said to Moses, My Lord, I beseech thee, put thou not this sin upon us, which we did foully, that this woman be not made as dead, and as a dead-born thing that is cast out of the mother's womb. Lo, now the half of her flesh is devoured, or over-covered, with leprosy. And Moses cried to the Lord, and said, Lord, I beseech thee, heal thou her. To whom the Lord answered, If her father had spit into her face, whether she ought not to be filled with shame, namely 7 days. Therefore be she separated out of the tents by 7 days, and afterward she shall be called again. And so Mari was excluded out of the tents by 7 days. And the people was not moved from that place, till Mari was called again. And the people went forth from Hazeroth, when the tents were set in the desert of Paran. Chapter 13. And there the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Send thou men, that shall behold the land of Canaan, which I shall give to the sons of Israel. Of each lineage send thou 1 man of the princes. Moses did that the Lord commanded, and sent from the desert of Paran princes, men of which these be the names. Of the lineage of Reuben, Shammua, the son of Zaccur. Of the lineage of Simeon, Shaphat, the son of Hori. Of the lineage of Judah, Caleb, the son of Jephunneh. Of the lineage of Issachar, Agal, the son of Joseph. Of the lineage of Ephraim, Oshea, the son of Nun. Of the lineage of Benjamin, Palti, the son of Raphu. Of the lineage of Zebulun, Gaddiel, the son of Sodi. Of the lineage of Joseph, of the generation of Manasseh, Gaddi, the son of Suzi. Of the lineage of Dan, Amiel, the son of Gamali. Of the lineage of Asher, Sethur, the son of Michael. Of the lineage of Naphtali, Nahbi, the son of Vophsi. Of the lineage of Gad, Duel, the son of Machi. These be the names of men, which Moses sent to behold the land of Canaan. And Moses called O'Shea, the son of Nun, Joshua. Therefore Moses sent him to behold the land of Canaan. And said to them, Go ye up by the south coast. And when ye come to the hills, behold ye the land, what manner land it is. And behold ye the people which is the dweller thereof, whether it is strong, either feeble, few in number, either many. Whether that land is good, either evil. What manner cities be there, walled, either without walls. Whether the land is fat, either barren, whether it is full of woods, either without trees. Be ye comforted, and bring ye to us of the fruits of that land. Soothly then the time was, when grapes first ripe might be eaten. And when they had gone up, they espied the land, from the desert of Zin till to Rehob, as men enter to Hamath. And they went up to the south coast, and came into Hebron, where Ahiman, and Sheshai, and Talmai, the sons of Anak, were. For Hebron was made 7 years before Tanis, the city of Egypt. And they went to the strand of Cluster. And they cutted down a scion with his grapes, which 2 men bear with a bearing staff. Also they took of pomegranates, and of the figs of that place, which is called Nael Eshkol, that is, the strand of grape, or the strand of cluster, for the sons of Israel bare a cluster from thence. And the spies of the land, when they had compassed all the country, after 40 days they came to Moses and Aaron, and to all the company of the sons of Israel, into the desert of Paran, which is in Kadesh. And the spies spake to them, and showed the fruits of the land to all the multitude, and they told, and said, We came to the land, to which thou sentest us, which land truly floweth with milk and honey, as it may be known by these fruits. But it hath most strong dwellers, and great cities, and walled. We saw there the kindred of Anakim, that is, giants. Amalek dwelleth there in the south. Hittites, and Jebusites, and Amorites dwell in the hilly places. Forsooth Canaanites dwell beside the sea, and beside the floods of Jordan. Among these things, or sayings, Caleb pieced the grouching of the people, that was made against Moses, and said, Go we up, and wield we the land, for we be able to get it. Soothly the other spies, that were with him, said, We be not able to go up to this people, for it is stronger than we. And they spake evil of the land which they had beheld, to the sons of Israel, and said, The land that we compassed devoureth his dwellers. The people that we beheld is of large stature. There we saw some wonders against kind, of the sons of Anak, of the kind of giants, to which we were comparisoned, and were seen as locusts. Chapter 14. Therefore all the company cried, and wept in that night, and all the sons of Israel grouched against Moses and Aaron, and said, We would that we had been dead in Egypt, either that we were dead in this wilderness. We would that we perished, and that the Lord lead us not into this land, lest we fall by sword, and our wives and our free children be led, or taken, prisoners. Whether it is not better to us to turn again into Egypt. And they said one to another, Ordain we a duke, or a leader, to us, and turn we again into Egypt. And when this was heard, Moses and Aaron fell down low to the earth, before all the multitude of the sons of Israel. And soothly Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, which also compassed the land, rent their clothes, and they spake thus to all the multitude of the sons of Israel, The land which we compassed is full good. If the Lord is merciful to us, he shall lead us into it, and he shall give us the land flowing with milk and honey. Do not ye rebel against the Lord, neither dread ye the people of this land, for we be able to devour them so as bread. All their help hath passed away from them, the Lord is with us, do not ye dread. And when all the multitude cried, and would have oppressed them with stones, the glory of the Lord appeared upon the roof of the bond of peace, while all the sons of Israel saw. And the Lord said to Moses, How long shall this people backbite me, or misdeem me? How long shall they not believe to me, in all the signs which I have done before them? Therefore I shall smite them with pestilence, and I shall waste them. Soothly I shall make thee prince upon a greater folk, and stronger than is this. And Moses said to the Lord, Egyptians hear not, from whose middle thou leddest out this people, and the dwellers of this land, which heard that thou, Lord, art in this people, and art seen face to face, and that thy cloud defendeth them, and that thou goest before them in a pillar of cloud by day, and in a pillar of fire by night, that thou hast slain so great a multitude as one man, and say, He might not bring this people into the land for which he swore to give to them, therefore he killed them in wilderness. Therefore the strength of the Lord be magnified, or made great, as thou hast sworn, Lord patient, and of much mercy, doing away wickedness and trespasses, and leaving no man unguilty, which visitest the sins of fathers into sons into the third and fourth generation. I beseech thee, forgive thou the sin of this thy people, after the greatness of thy mercy, as thou were merciful to them going out of Egypt till to this place. And the Lord said, I have forgiven to them, by thy word. And as soothly I live, and the glory of the Lord shall be filled in all earth. Nevertheless all men that saw my majesty, and my signs, which I did in Egypt and in the wilderness, and tempted me now by 10 times, and obeyed not to my voice, shall not see the land for which I swore to their fathers, neither any of them that backbited me, shall see it. I shall lead my servant Caleb, that was full of another spirit and followed me, into this land, which he compassed, and his seed shall wield it. For Amalek and Canaanites dwell in the valleys. Tomorrow move ye tents, and turn ye again into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. And the Lord spake to Moses and to Aaron, and said, How long groucheth this worst multitude against me? I have heard the grouching plaints of the sons of Israel. Therefore say thou to them, I live, saith the Lord. As ye spake while I heard, so I shall do to you. Your carrions, or dead bodies, shall lie in this wilderness. All ye that be numbered, from 20 years and above, and have grouched against me, shall not enter into the land, upon which I have raised mine hand, that I should make you to dwell there, except Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, the son of Nun. Forsooth I shall lead in your little children, of which ye said that they should be praise, either ravens, to enemies, that they see the land which displeased you. Forsooth your carrions shall lie in the wilderness. Your sons shall be walkers about in the desert by 40 years, and they shall bear your fornication, till the carrions of their fathers be wasted in desert, by the number of 40 days, in which ye beheld the land. A year shall be reckoned for a day, and by 40 years ye shall receive your wickedness, or be punished for your grouching, and ye shall know my vengeance. For as I spake, so I shall do to all this worst multitude, that rose together against me. It shall fail, and shall die in this wilderness. Therefore all the men which Moses had sent to see the land, and which turned again, and made all the multitude to grouch against him, and depraved the land, that it was evil, were dead, and smitten in the sight of the Lord. Soothly Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, lived, of all the men, that went to see the land. And Moses spake all these words to all the sons of Israel, and the people mourned greatly. And, lo, they rose in the morrowtide first, and they went up into the top of the hill, and said, We be ready to go up to the place, of which the Lord spake, for we have sinned. To whom Moses said, Why overpass ye the word of the Lord? That shall not befall to you into prosperity. Do not ye go up, for the Lord is not with you, lest ye fall before your enemies. Amalek and Canaanites be before you, by the sword of which ye shall fall, for ye would not assent to the Lord, neither the Lord shall be with you. And they were made dark, that is, blinded in their sin, and went up into the top of the hill. Forsooth the ark of the testament of the Lord and Moses went not away from the tents. And Amalek came down, and Canaanites, that dwelled in the hill, and he smote the children of Israel, and he cutted them down, and pursued him to Hormah. Chapter 15. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Speak thou to the sons of Israel, and thou shalt say to them, When ye have entered into the land of your habitation, which I shall give to you, and ye shall make an offering to the Lord into burnt sacrifice, either a peaceable sacrifice, and ye pay a vows, either offer gifts by free will, either in your solemnities ye burn odor of sweetness to the Lord, of oxen, either of sheep. Whoever offereth the slain sacrifice, shall offer a sacrifice of flour, the 10th part of ephah, sprinkled together with oil, which oil shall have a measure the 4th part of hin. And he shall give wine to flowing sacrifices to be poured, of the same measure, into burnt sacrifice, and slain sacrifice. By each lamb and ram shall be the sacrifice of flour, of 2/10 parts, which shall be sprinkled together with oil, of the third part of hin. And he shall offer wine to the flowing sacrifice, of the third part of the same measure, into odor of sweetness to the Lord. Forsooth, when thou makest a burnt sacrifice, either an offering of oxen, that thou fill a vow, either peaceable sacrifice, thou shalt give, by each ox 3/10 parts of tried flour, sprinkled together with oil, which shall have the half measure of hin. And thou shalt give wine to flowing sacrifice to be poured, of the same measure, into offering of the sweetest odor to the Lord. So ye shall do by each ox, and ram, and lamb, and kid. As well men born in the land, as pilgrims, shall offer sacrifices by the same custom. One commandment and doom shall be, as well to you as to commonlings of the land. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Speak thou to the sons of Israel, and thou shalt say to them, When ye come into the land which I shall give to you, and ye eat of the loaves of that country, ye shall separate a little cake of your pastes to the Lord. As ye shall separate the firstfruits of your cornfloors, so ye shall give the firstfruits also of your salves to the Lord. That if by ignorance ye pass any of those things which the Lord spake to Moses, and commanded by him to you, from the day in which he began to command, and the multitude hath forgotten to do this, it shall offer a calf of the drove, burnt sacrifice into sweetest odor to the Lord, and the sacrifices thereof, and flowing offerings, as the ceremonies thereof ask, and it shall offer a buck of goats for sin. And the priest shall pray for all the multitude of the sons of Israel. And it shall be forgiven to them, for they sinned not wilfully. And nevertheless they shall offer incense to the Lord for themselves, and for their sin, and their error. And it shall be forgiven to all the people of the sons of Israel, and to the commonlings that be pilgrims among them, for it is the sin of all the multitude by ignorance. That if a soul sinneth unwittingly, it shall offer a goat of 1 year for his sin. And the priest shall pray for that soul, for it sinned unwittingly before the Lord. And the priest shall get forgiveness to it, and the sin shall be forgiven to him. As well to men born in the land, as to commonlings, one law shall be of all that sin unwittingly. Forsooth, a man that doth any sin by pride, shall perish from the people, whether he be a citizen, either a pilgrim, for he was rebel against the Lord, for he despised the word of the Lord, and made void his commandment. Therefore he shall be done away, and shall bear his own wickedness. Soothly it was done, when the sons of Israel were in wilderness, and they had found a man gathering wood in the Sabbath day, they brought him to Moses, and to Aaron, and to all the multitude, the which closed, or put, him into prison, and they knew not what they should do to him. And the Lord said to Moses, This man die by death. All the company oppress him with stones without the tents. And when they had led him withoutforth, they killed him with stones, and he was dead, as the Lord commanded. Also the Lord said to Moses, Speak thou to the sons of Israel, and thou shalt say to them, that they make to them hems by 4 corners of their mantles, and fasten they in them laces of jacinth. And when they see those, have they mind of all the commandments of the Lord, lest they follow their thoughts and their eyes, doing fornication by diverse things. But more be they mindful of the behests of the Lord, and do they those, and be they holy to their God. I am your Lord God, which led you out of the land of Egypt, that I should be your God. Chapter 16. Forsooth Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, of the sons of Reuben, rose against Moses, and others of the sons of Israel, 200 men and 50, princes of the synagogue, and which were called by their names in the time of council. And when these stood against Moses and Aaron, they said, Suffice it to you, for all the multitude is of holy men, and the Lord is in them. Why be ye raised up presumptuously on the people of the Lord? And when Moses had heard this, he fell down low upon his face. And he spake to Korah, and to all the multitude. He said, Early the Lord shall make known which men pertain to him, and he shall apply, or draw, to him holy men. And they which he hath chosen, shall nigh to him. Therefore do ye this thing. Each man take his censer, thou Korah, and all thy council. And tomorrow when fire is taken up, put ye incense above before the Lord, and whomever the Lord chooseth, he shall be holy. Ye sons of Levi, be much raised. And again Moses said to Korah, Ye sons of Levi, hear. Whether it is little to you, that God of Israel separated you from all the people, and hath joined you to himself, that ye should serve him in the service of the tabernacle, and that ye should stand before the multitude of the people, and serve him. Made he therefore thee, and all thy brethren the sons of Levi, to nigh to himself, that ye challenge to you also priesthood, and all thy gathering together stand against the Lord? For why, what is Aaron, that ye grouch against him? Therefore Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which answered, We come not. Whether is it little to thee, that thou leddest us out of the land that flowed with milk and honey, to slay us in the desert? No, but also thou be Lord of us. Verily thou hast brought us into the land that floweth with streams of milk and honey, and hast given to us possession of fields, and of vineyards. Whether also thou wilt put out our eyes? We come not to thee. And Moses was wroth greatly, and said to the Lord, Behold thou not the sacrifices of them? Thou knowest that I took never of them a little ass, neither I tormented any of them. And Moses said to Korah, Thou and all thy congregation stand asides half before the Lord, and Aaron tomorrow by himself. Take ye all by yourselves your censers, and put ye incense in those, and offer ye to the Lord 250 censers, and Aaron hold he his censer. And when they had done this, while Moses and Aaron stood there, and they had gathered all the multitude to the door of the tabernacle against them, the glory of the Lord appeared to all. And the Lord spake to Moses and to Aaron, and said, Be ye separated from the midst of this congregation, that I lose them suddenly. The which fell down low upon their face, and said, Most strong God of the spirits of all flesh, whether thy wrath shall be fierce against all men, for one man sinneth. And the Lord said to Moses, Command thou to all the people, that it be separated from the tabernacles of Korah, and of Dathan, and of Abiram. And Moses rose, and went to Dathan and Abiram. And while the elder men of Israel followed him, he said to the company, Go ye away from the tabernacles of the wicked men, and do not ye touch those things that pertain to them, lest ye be wrapped in the sins of them. And when they had gone away from their tents by compass, Dathan and Abiram went out, and stood in the entry of their tents, with their wives, and their free children, and with all the multitude. And Moses said, In this ye shall know that the Lord sent me, that I should do all things which ye see, and that I brought them not forth of mine own heart. If they perish by customable death of men, and wound, either pestilence, visit them, by which also other men be wont to be visited, the Lord sent not me. But if the Lord doth a new thing, that the earth open his mouth, and swallow them, and all things that pertain to them, and they go down quick into hell, ye shall know that they blasphemed the Lord. Therefore anon as he ceased to speak, the earth was broken under their feet, and the earth opened his mouth, and devoured them, with their tabernacles, and all their chattel. And they went down quick into hell, and were covered with earth, and they perished from the midst of the multitude. And soothly all Israel that stood about, fled from the cry of men perishing, and said, Lest peradventure the earth swallow also us. But also fire went out from the Lord, and killed 250 men that offered incense. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Command thou to Eleazar, the son of Aaron, priest, that he take, or gather up, the censers that lie in the burning, and that he scatter the fire hither and thither, for those censers be hallowed, in the deaths of sinners, and that he bring forth those censers into plates, and nail them to the altar, for incense is offered in those to the Lord, and those be hallowed, that the sons of Israel see them for a sign and a memorial. Therefore Eleazar, the priest, took the brazen censers, in which the burning had devoured had offered, and he beat out those censers into plates, and nailed them to the altar, that the sons of Israel should have those censers with them afterward, by which they should remember this great vengeance of God, lest any alien, and which is not of the seed of Aaron, nigh to offer incense to the Lord, lest he suffer, as Korah suffered, and all his multitude, while the Lord spake to Moses. Forsooth all the multitude of the sons of Israel grouched in the day following against Moses and Aaron, and said, Ye have slain the people of the Lord. And when dissension rose, and the noise increased, Moses and Aaron fled to the tabernacle of the bond of peace. And after that they entered into it, a cloud covered the tabernacle, and the glory of the Lord appeared. And the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, Go ye away from the midst of this multitude, also now I shall do away them. And when they lay in the earth, Moses said to Aaron, Take thy censer, and when the fire is taken up from the altar, cast thou incense above, and go thou forth soon to the people, that thou pray for them. For now wrath is gone out from the Lord, and the vengeance is fierce. And when Aaron had done this, and had run to the midst of the multitude, which the burning wasted, then he offered incense. And he stood betwixt the dead men and the living, and he prayed for the people, and the vengeance ceased. Soothly they that were slain were 14,000 of men and 700, without them that perished in the dissension of Korah. And Aaron turned again to Moses, to the door of the tabernacle of the bond of peace, after that the perishing of men ceased. Chapter 17. And the Lord spake to Moses, saying, Speak thou to the sons of Israel, and take thou rods, by their kindreds, by each kindred 1 rod, take thou of all the princes of the lineages 12 rods, and thou shalt write the name of each lineage upon his rod. Soothly the name of Aaron shall be written in the lineage of Levi, and 1 rod shall contain all the families of Levi. And thou shalt put those rods in the tabernacle of bond of peace, before the witnessing, where I shall speak with thee. The rod of him shall burgeon, whom I shall choose of them to the office of priesthood. And I shall thereby refrain, or quench, from me the complainings, or grouchings, of the sons of Israel, by which they grouch against you. And Moses spake to the sons of Israel. And all the princes gave to him rods, by all their lineages, and the rods were 12, without the rod of Aaron. And when Moses had put those rods before the Lord, in the tabernacle of witnessing, he went again in the day following, and found that the rod of Aaron, in the house of Levi, had burgeoned. And when knops were great, the blossoms had broken out, which were enlarged in leaves, and were formed into almonds. Therefore Moses brought forth all the rods from the sight of the Lord to all the sons of Israel. And they saw, and received each his rod. And the Lord said to Moses, Bear thou again the rod of Aaron into the tabernacle of witnessing, that it be kept there into a token of the rebel sons of Israel, and that their complainings, or grouchings, cease from me, lest they die. And Moses did, as the Lord commanded. Soothly the sons of Israel said to Moses, Lo, we be wasted, all we have perished. Whoever nigheth to the tabernacle of the Lord, he dieth. Whether we shall all be done away unto the death. Chapter 18. And the Lord said to Aaron, Thou, and thy sons, and the house of thy father with thee, shall bear the wickedness of the sanctuary, and thou and thy sons together shall suffer the sins of your priesthood. But also take thou with thee thy brethren of the lineage of Levi, and the scepter, or power, of thy father, and be they ready, that they minister to thee. Forsooth thou and thy sons shall minister in the tabernacle of witnessing. And the deacons shall watch at thy commandments, and at all the works of the tabernacle, so only that they nigh not to the vessels of the sanctuary, and to the altar, lest both they die, and ye, and perish together. Soothly be they with thee, and watch they in the keepings of the tabernacle, and in all the ceremonies thereof. An alien shall not be meddled with you. Watch ye in the keeping of the sanctuary, and in the service of the altar, lest indignation rise upon the sons of Israel. Lo, I have given to you your brethren, the deacons, from the midst of the sons of Israel, and I have given you them a free gift to the Lord, that they serve in the services of the tabernacle. Soothly thou and thy sons, keep your priesthood. And all things that pertain to the adorning of the altar, and be within the veil, shall be ministered by priests. If any stranger nigheth thereto, he shall be slain. The Lord spake to Aaron, Lo, I have given to thee the keeping of my firstfruits. I have given to thee, and to thy sons, all things that be hallowed of the sons of Israel, for priest's office everlasting lawful things. Therefore thou shalt take these things of those things that be hallowed, and be offered to the Lord. Each offering, and sacrifice, and whatever thing is yielded, to me for sin and for trespass, and cometh into holy of holy things, shall be thine and thy sons. Thou shalt eat it in the sanctuary. Males only shall eat thereof, for it is hallowed to the Lord. Soothly I have given to thee, and to thy sons and thy daughters, by everlasting right, the firstfruits which the sons of Israel avow and offer. He that is clean in thine house, shall eat those things. I have given to thee all the marrow, or the best, of oil, and of wine, and of wheat, whatever thing of the firstfruits they shall offer to the Lord. All the beginnings of fruits which the earth bringeth forth, and be brought to the Lord, shall fall into thine uses. He that is clean in thine house, shall eat of those. All things that the sons of Israel yield by a vow, shall be thine. Whatever thing cometh first forth of the womb of all flesh, which they offer to the Lord, whether it is of men, either of beasts, it shall be of thy right. So only that thou take price for the first begotten child of man, and that thou make each beast that is unclean to be bought again, whose again buying shall be after 1 month, for 5 shekels of silver, by the weight of sanctuary. A shekel hath 20 halfpence. Forsooth thou shalt not make the first engendered of an ox, and of sheep, and of goat, to be again bought, for those be hallowed to the Lord. Only thou shalt pour the blood of those upon the altar, and thou shalt burn the inner fatness into sweetest odor to the Lord. Soothly the flesh shall fall into thine use, as the breast hallowed and the right shoulder, shall be thine. I have given to thee, and to thy sons and thy daughters, by everlasting right, all the firstfruits of the sanctuary, which the sons of Israel offer to the Lord. It is everlasting covenant of salt before the Lord, to thee, and to thy sons. And the Lord said to Aaron, Ye shall not wield anything of heritage in the land of Israel, neither ye shall have part among them. I am thy part and thine heritage, in the midst of the sons of Israel. Soothly, I gave to the sons of Levi all the tithes of Israel into possession, for the service by which they serve me in the tabernacle of bond of peace, that the sons of Israel nigh no more to the tabernacle of bond of peace, neither do deadly sin. To the sons alone of Levi, serving me in the tabernacle, and bearing the people's sins, it shall be a lawful thing everlasting in your generations. They shall wield none other thing, and they shall be satisfied with the offering of tithes, which I separated into uses and necessaries of them. And the Lord spake to Moses and said, Command thou, and announce to the deacons, when ye have taken tithes of the sons of Israel, which I gave to you, offer ye the firstfruits of those to the Lord, that is, the 10th part of the 10th, that it be a reckoned to you into offering of the firstfruits, as well of the cornflaws, as of the presses, and of all things of which ye take tithes, offer ye the firstfruits to the Lord, and give ye those to Aaron, the priest. All things which ye shall offer of tithes, and shall separate into the gifts of the Lord, shall be the best, and all the choice things. And thou shalt say to them, If ye offer to the Lord all the clean and better things of tithes, it shall be a reckoned to you, as if ye gave the firstfruits of the cornfloor, and of the press. And ye shall eat those tithes in all your places, as well ye as your families, for it is the price for the service, for which ye serve in the tabernacle of witnessing. And ye shall not do sin on this thing, and reserve noble things and fat to you, lest ye defoul the offerings of the sons of Israel, and ye die. Chapter 19. And the Lord spake to Moses and to Aaron, and said, This is the religion of sacrifice, which the Lord ordained. Command thou to the sons of Israel, that they bring to thee a red cow of whole color, in which is no wem, neither she hath borne yoke. And ye shall betake her to Eleazar, the priest, that shall offer her, led out of the tents, in the sight of all men. And he shall dip his finger in the blood thereof, and shall sprinkle 7 times against the gates of the tabernacle. And he shall burn that cow, while all men see, and he shall give as well the skin, and the flesh thereof, as the blood, and the dung, to burning. Also the priest shall put cedar wood, and hyssop, and red thread dyed twice, into the fire, that burneth the cow. And then at the last, when the priest's clothes and his body be washed, he shall enter into the tents, and he shall be defiled, or unclean, till to eventide. But also he that burnt the cow, shall wash his clothes, and his body, and he shall be unclean till to eventide. Soothly a clean man shall gather the ashes of the cow, and he shall pour them out without the tents, in a place most clean, that those ashes be to the multitude of the sons of Israel into keeping, and into water of sprinkling, for that cow is burnt for sin. And when he that bare out the ashes of the cow hath washed his clothes, he shall be unclean till to eventide. And the sons of Israel, and the commonlings that dwell among them, shall have, or hold, this holy by everlasting law. He that toucheth a dead body of a man, and is unclean for this by 7 days, shall be sprinkled of this water in the 3rd, and in the 7th day, and so he shall be cleansed. If he is not sprinkled in the 3rd day, he shall not be able to be cleansed in the 7th day. Each that toucheth the dead body by itself of man's soul, and is not sprinkled with this meddling, defileth the tabernacle of the Lord, and he shall perish from Israel. For he is not sprinkled with the water of cleansing, he shall be unclean, and his filth shall dwell upon him. This is the law of a man that dieth in the tabernacle. All that enter into his tent, and all the vessels that be there, shall be defiled by 7 days. A vessel that hath not a covering, neither a binding above, shall be unclean. If any man toucheth the dead body of a man slain in the field, either dead by himself, either a bone of him, either his sepulchre, he shall be unclean by 7 days. And they shall take of the ashes of the burning, and of the sin, that is, of the cow offered for sin, and they shall put quick waters into a vessel, upon those ashes, in which when a clean man hath dipped hyssop, he shall sprinkle therewith the tent, and all the purtenance of the household, and the men also defiled with such defouling. And in this manner a clean man shall cleanse an unclean thing, in the 3rd and in the 7th day, and he shall be cleansed in the 7th day. And he shall wash himself, and his clothes, and he shall be unclean till to eventide. If any man is not cleansed by this custom, the soul of him shall perish from the midst of the church, for he defouleth the sanctuary of the Lord, and he is not sprinkled with the water of cleansing. This behest shall be a lawful thing everlasting. Also he that shall sprinkle the waters shall wash his clothes. Each man that toucheth the waters of cleansing, shall be unclean till to eventide. Whatever thing an unclean man toucheth, he shall make unclean. And a soul that toucheth any of these things defiled so, shall be unclean till to eventide. Chapter 20. And the sons of Israel and all the multitude came into the desert of Zin, in the 1st month. And the people dwelled in Kadesh, and Marie was dead there, and buried in the same place. And when the people had need to water, they went together against Moses and Aaron. And they were turned into dissension, that is, rebelty and striving, and said, We would that we had perished among our brethren before the Lord. Why have ye led out the church of the Lord into wilderness, that both we and our beasts die? Why have ye made us to go up from Egypt, and have brought us into this worst place, which may not be sown, which neither bringeth forth fig trees, nor vines, neither pomegranates, furthermore and it hath not water to drink? And when the multitude was left, Moses and Aaron entered into the tabernacle of bond of peace, and they fell down low upon the earth, and they cried to God, and said, Lord God, hear the cry of this people, and open to them thy treasure, a well of quick water, that when they be filled, the grouching of them cease. And the glory of the Lord appeared upon them. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Take the rod of Aaron, and gather together the people, thou, and Aaron thy brother. And speak ye to the stone before them, and it shall give out waters. And when thou hast led water out of the stone, all the multitude shall drink, and their beasts thereof. Therefore Moses took the rod that was in the sight of the Lord, as the Lord commanded to him, when the multitude was gathered before the stone. And he said to them, Hear ye, rebel, and unbeliefful, whether we may bring out of this stone water to you. And when Moses had raised his hand, and had smitten the flint twice with the rod, most large waters went out, so that the people drank, and their beasts. And the Lord said to Moses and to Aaron, For ye believed not to me, that ye should hallow me before the sons of Israel, ye shall not lead these peoples into the land which I shall give to them. This is the water of againsaying. There the sons of Israel strived against the Lord, and he was hallowed in them. In the meantime Moses sent messengers from Kadesh to the king of Edom, the which said, Israel thy brother sendeth these things to thee. Thou knowest all the travail that hath taken us, how our fathers went down into Egypt, and we dwelled there much time, and Egyptians tormented us, and our fathers. and how we cried to the Lord, and he heard us, and sent an angel that led us out of Egypt. And lo, we be set in the city of Kadesh, that is in thine uttermost coasts, and we beseech thee that it be leaveful to us to pass through thy land. We shall not go by thy fields, neither by thy vineries, neither we shall drink waters of thy wells, but we shall go in the common way, and we shall not bow to the right side, neither to the left side, till we pass thy terms. To whom Edom answered, Ye shall not pass by me, else I shall be armed, and come against thee. And the sons of Israel said, We shall go by the way commonly used, and if we and our beasts drink thy waters, we shall give that is just. No hardness shall be in the price, only pass we in haste. And he answered, Ye shall not pass by me. And anon he went out against Israel, with a multitude without number, and strong hand, and with strong power, neither he would assent to Israel beseeching, that he should grant passage by his coasts. Wherefore Israel turned away from him. And when Israel had moved their tents from Kadesh, they came into the hill of Hor, which is in the ends of the land of Edom, where the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Aaron go to his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I gave to the sons of Israel, for he was unbelievful to my word, at the waters of against saying. Take thou Aaron, and his son with him, and thou shalt lead him into the hill of Hor, and when thou hast made naked the father of his cloth, thou shalt clothe therewith Eleazar, his son, and Aaron shall be gathered, and shall die there. And Moses did as the Lord commanded. And they ascended into the hill of Hor, before all the multitude. And when Moses had made naked Aaron of his clothes, he clothed with those Eleazar, his son. Soothly when Aaron was dead in the top of the hill, Moses came down with Eleazar. Soothly all the multitude saw that Aaron was dead, and it wept upon him 30 days, by all their families. Chapter 21. And when Canaanite, the king of Arad, that dwelled at the south, had heard this, that is, that Israel came by the way of Spies, he fought against them, and Canaanite was the overcomer, and he led away prey the men of Israel. And Israel bound himself by a vow to the Lord, and said, If thou shalt betake this people in mine hand, I shall do away their cities. And the Lord heard the prayers of Israel, and betook to them the Canaanites. And Israel killed him, and destroyed his cities. And Israel called the name of that place Hormah, that is, cursing. Soothly Israel went forth from the hill of Hor, by the way that leadeth to the Red Sea, that they would compass the land of Edom. And it began to annoy the people, of the way and travail. And the people spake against the Lord, and Moses, and said, Why leddest thou us out of Egypt, that we should die in wilderness? Bread faileth, waters be not. Our soul loatheth now on this meat most light. Wherefore the Lord sent fired serpents, fiery adders into the people. At the wounds of which serpents, and the deaths of full many men, they came to Moses, and said, We have sinned, for we spake against the Lord, and thee. Pray thou, that he take away from us the serpents. And Moses prayed for the people. And the Lord said to him, Make thou a serpent, and set thou it in a perch. He that is smitten and beholdeth it, shall live. Therefore Moses made a serpent of brass, and set it in a perch. And men hurt, and beholding it, were healed. And the sons of Israel went forth, and setted tents in Obboth. From whence they went forth, and setted tents in Ajerbarim, in the wilderness that beholdeth Moab, against the east coast. And they moved from thence, and came to the strand of Zared, which they left, and setted tents against Arnon, which is in the desert, and it appeareth in the coasts of Amorites. Forsooth Arnon is the term of Moab, and parteth Moabites and Amorites. Wherefore it is said in the book of battles of the Lord, As he did in the Red Sea, so he shall do in the strands of Arnon. The hard rocks of the strands were bowed down, that they shall rest in Ar, or abide there, and should lie in the coasts of Moabites. From that place the well appeared, of which the Lord spake to Moses, Gather thou together the people, and I shall give water to it. Then Israel sang this song, The water of the well, ascend up. They sang together, The well which the princes digged, and the dukes of the multitude made ready, in the giver of the law, and in their staves. And they went forth from the wilderness to Mattanah, from Mattanah to Nahaliel, from Nahaliel into Bamoth. Bamoth is a valley in the country of Moab, in the top of Pisgah, that beholdeth against the desert. Soothly Israel sent messengers to Sihon, king of Amorites, and said, I beseech thee, that it be leaveful to me to pass through thy land. We shall not bow into thy fields and vineries. We shall not drink waters of thy wells. We shall go in the king's way, till we pass thy terms. Which would not grant that Israel should pass through his coasts, but rather, when his host was gathered, he went out against Israel, into desert. And he came into Jahaz, and fought against Israel, of whom he was smitten in the sharpness of sword, and his land was wielded of Israel from Arnon unto Jabbok, and Ammon's sons, or his host, for the coasts of Ammonites were holden with strong help, or power. Therefore Israel took all his cities, and dwelled in the cities of Amorites, that is, in Heshbon, and in his towns. The city of Heshbon was Sihon's, king of Amorites, which Sihon fought against the king of Moab, and took all the land that was of his lordship, till to Arnon. Therefore it is said in Proverb, Come ye into Heshbon, be it builded, and made, the city of Sihon. Fire went out of Heshbon, flame went out of the city of Sihon, and devoured Ar of Moabites, and the dwellers of the high places of Arnon. Moab, woe to thee! Thou, people of Chemosh, hast perished. It gave the sons thereof into flight, and the daughters into captivity to Sihon, king of Amorites. The yoke, or lordship, of them perished, from Heshbon unto Dibon. The weary men came into Nophah, and unto Medeba. And so Israel dwelled in the land of Amorites. And Moses sent men that should espy Jazer, whose towns they took, and wielded the dwellers. And they turned themselves, and went up by the way of Bashan. And Og, the king of Bashan, with all his people, came against them, to fight in Edrei. And the Lord said to Moses, Dread thou not him, for I have betaken him, and all his land, and all his people, in thine hand. And thou shalt do to him as thou didst to Sihon, king of Amorites, the dweller of Heshbon. Therefore they smote Og with his sons, and all his people, unto death, and they wielded his land. Chapter 22. And the sons of Israel went forth, and setted tents in the field places of Moab, where Jericho is set, over Jordan. Soothly Balak, the son of Zippor, saw all things that Israel had done to Amorites, and that men of Moab dreaded Israel, and they might not bear the assailing of Israel. And he said to the greater men in birth of Midian, So this people shall do away all men that dwell in our coasts, as an ox is wont to do away an herb till to the roots. Forsooth he, that is, Balak, was king in that time in Moab. Therefore he sent messengers to Balaam, the son of Beor, a false diviner, that dwelled on, or nigh, the flood of the land of the sons of Ammor, that they should call him, and should say, Lo! A people went out of Egypt, which people covered the face of the earth, and sitteth against me. Therefore come thou, and curse this people, that is stronger than I, if in any manner I may smite and drive him out of my land. For I know, that he is blessed whom thou blessest, and he is cursed whom thou hast cursed. The elder men of Moab and the elder men of Midian went forth, having in their hands the price of false divining. And when they had come to Balaam, and had told to him all the words of Balak, he answered, Dwell ye here tonight, and I shall answer to Balak whatever thing the Lord shall say to me. And the princes of Moab dwelled at Balaam. God came, and said to him, What will these men with thee? Balaam answered, Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moabites, sent to me, and said, Lo! A people that is gone out of Egypt hath covered the face of the earth. Come thou, and curse them, if in any manner I may fight with them, and drive them away. And God said to Balaam, Do not thou go with them, neither curse thou the people, for it is blessed. And Balaam rose early, and said to the princes, Go ye into your land, for God hath forbade me to come with you. The princes turned again, and said to Balak, Balaam would not come with us. Again Balak sent many more, and nobler, men, than he had sent before. Which said, when they had come to Balaam, Balak, the son of Zippor, saith thus, Tarry thou not to come to me, ready to honor thee. And whatever thing thou wilt, I shall give to thee. Come thou, and curse this people. Balaam answered, Though Balak shall give to me his house full of silver and of gold, I shall not be able to change the word of my God, that I speak either more or less. I beseech you, that ye dwell here also in this night, that I may know what the Lord shall answer again to me. Therefore the Lord came to Balaam in that night, and said to him, If these men come to call thee, rise thou, and go with them, so only that thou do that I shall command to thee. Balaam rose early, and when his she-ass was saddled, he went forth with them. And God was wroth with Balaam. And the angel of the Lord stood in the way against Balaam, that sat upon the she-ass, and had 2 servants with him. The ass saw the angel standing in the way, with sword drawn, and the ass turned herself from the way, and went by the field. And when Balaam beat her, and would lead her again to the path, the angel stood in the straightness of 2 walls with which the vineries were compassed. And the female ass saw the angel, and she went herself nigh to the wall, and she hurtled the foot of the sitter upon her, and he beat again her. And nevertheless the angel went to a straight place, where was no going out of the way, neither to the right side, nor to the left, and stood against Balaam. And when the ass saw the angel standing, she fell down under the feet of the sitter upon her, the which was wroth full greatly, and he beat her sides with a staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass, and she spake, What have I done to thee? Why smittest thou me, lo? Now the 3rd time. Balaam answered, For thou hast disserved, and hast scorned me. I would that I had a sword to slay thee. And the ass said, Whether I am not thy beast upon which thou were wont to ride ever till into this present day? Say thou, What like thing to this I did ever to thee? And Balaam said, Never thus thou servedst me. Anon the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel standing in the way, holding a drawn sword in his hand, and Balaam worshipped him lowly into the earth. To whom the angel said, Why hast thou thrice beaten thine ass? I came to be adversary to thee, for thy way is wayward, and contrary to me. And if the ass had not bowed away from the way, and given place to the against-stander, I had slain thee, and the ass should have lived. Balaam said, I have sinned, not witting that thou stoodest against me. And now, if it displeaseth thee that I go, I shall turn again. The angel said, Go thou with these men, but beware, that thou speak not other thing than I shall command to thee. Therefore Balaam went with the princes. And when Balak heard that Balaam was nigh, he went out into the coming of him, in the city of Moabites, which is set in the last coast of Arnon. And Balak said to Balaam, I sent messengers to call thee. Why camest thou not anon to me? Whether for I may not yield me to thy coming? To whom Balaam answered, Lo, I am present. Whether I shall be able to speak other thing than that God shall put in my mouth. Therefore they went forth together, and they came into a city, which was in the last coast of his realm. And when Balak had slain sheep and oxen, he sent gifts to Balaam and the princes that were with him. Forsooth when the morrowtide was made, Balak led Balaam to the high places of Baal, and he beheld the last part of the people, that is, all the host till to the last part. Chapter 23. And Balaam said to Balak, Build thou here to me 7 altars, and make thou ready so many calves, and rams of the same number. And when Balak had done by the word of Balaam, they putted a calf and a ram together on the altar. And Balaam said to Balak, Stand thou a little while beside thy burnt sacrifice, while I go, if in hap the Lord meet me, and I shall tell thee whatever thing he shall command. And when he had gone swiftly, God came to him. And Balaam spake to him, and said, I have raised up 7 altars, and I have put a calf and a ram above each of them. Forsooth the Lord putted a word in his mouth, and said, Turn again to Balak, and thou shalt speak these things. He turned again, and found Balak standing beside his burnt sacrifice, and all the princes of Moabites. And when his parable was taken, he said, Balak, the king of Moabites, brought me from Aram, from the hills of the east. And he said, Come thou, and curse Jacob. Haste thou, and curse Israel. How shall I curse, whom God hath cursed not? By what reason shall I loathe, whom God loatheth not? From the highest flints I shall see him, and from the little hills I shall behold him. The people shall dwell alone, and it shall not be reckoned among heathen men. Who may number the dust, that is, the kindred, of Jacob, and who may know the number of the generation of Israel. My life die in the death of just men, and my last things be made like them. And Balak said to Balaam, What is this that thou doest? I called thee, that thou shouldest curse mine enemies, and on the contrary, thou blessest them. To whom Balaam answered, Whether I may speak other thing, no, but that the Lord commandeth. Therefore Balak said to Balaam, Come with me into another place, from whence thou mayest see a part of Israel, and thou mayest not see all, from thence curse thou him. And when he had led Balaam into an high place, on the top of the hill of Pisgah, he builded there 7 altars to Balaam, and when calves and rams were put above them, and thou shalt say these things to him. He turned again, and found Balak standing beside his burnt sacrifice, and the princes of Moabites with him. To whom Balak said, What hath spoken the Lord? And when his parable was taken, he said, Stand thou, Balak, and hearken. Hear, thou son of Zippor. God is not a man, that he lie, neither he is as the son of a man, that he be changed. Therefore he hath said, and shall he not do it? He hath spoken, and shall he not fulfill it? I am brought hither by the Lord to bless. I may not forbid, or hinder, blessing. None idol is in Jacob, neither simulacrum is seen in Israel. His Lord God is with him, and the sound of the victory of a king is in him. False divining by chittering of birds is not in Jacob, neither false divining is in Israel. In his times, when, where, and how God will, it shall be said to Jacob and to Israel, What the Lord hath wrought. Lo, the people shall rise together as a lioness, and it shall be raised as a lion. The lion shall not rest, till he devour prey, and drink the blood of them that be slain. And Balak said to Balaam, Neither curse thou, neither bless thou him. And Balaam said, Whether I said not to thee, that whatever thing God commanded to me, I would do that. And Balak said to him, Come, and I shall lead thee to another place, if in hap it pleaseth God that from thence thou curse him. And when Balak had led him out on the top of the hill of Peor, that beholdeth the wilderness, Balaam said to Balak, Build here 7 altars to me, and make ready so many calves, and rams of the same number. Balak did as Balaam said, and he put the calves and the rams, by all the altars. Chapter 24. And when Balaam saw that it pleased the Lord that he should bless Israel, he went not as he had gone before, that he should seek false divining by chittering of birds, but he dressed his face against the desert, and he raised up his eyes, and he saw Israel dwelling in tents by his lineages. And when the Spirit of God fell upon him, and when the parable was taken, he said, Balaam, the son of Beor, said, A man, whose eye is stopped, said, The hearer of God's words said, which beheld the revelation of Almighty God, which falleth down, and his eyes be opened so, how fair be thy tabernacles, Jacob, and thy tents, Israel. As valleys full of trees, and moist gardens beside floods, as tabernacles which the Lord hath set, as cedar trees beside waters. Water shall flow of his bucket, and his seed shall be into many waters, that is, peoples. The king of him shall be taken away for Agag, and the realm of him shall be done away. God led him out of Egypt, whose strength is like an unicorn. The sons of Israel shall waste, or devour, heathen men, their enemies, and they shall break the bones of them, and pierce with arrows. He rested, and slept as a lion, and as a lioness, whom no man shall dare raise. He that blesseth thee, shall be blessed, and he that curseth, shall be reckoned into cursing. And Balak was wroth against Balaam, and he said, When his hands were wrung together, I called thee to curse mine enemies, whom, on the contrary, thou hast blessed thrice. Turn again to thy place. Forsooth I deemed to honor thee greatly, but the Lord deprived thee from honor disposed. Balaam answered to Balak, Whether I said not to thy messengers, which thou sentest to me, though Balak shall give to me his house full of silver and of gold, I shall not be able to pass the word of my Lord God, that I bring forth of mine heart anything, either of good or of evil, but whatever thing the Lord shall say, I shall speak that. Nevertheless I shall go to my people, and I shall give counsel to thee, what thy people shall do in the last time to this people. Therefore when a parable was taken, he said again, Balaam, the son of Peor, said, a man, whose eye is stopped, said, the hearer of God's word said, which knoweth the doctrine of the highest, and seeth the revelation of Almighty God, which falleth down, and hath open eyes. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. A star shall be born of Jacob, and a rod shall rise of Israel. And he shall smite the dukes of Moab, and he shall waste all the sons of Seth. And Idumea shall be his possession, the heritage of Sire shall befall to his enemies. Soothly Israel shall do strongly, of Jacob shall be he that shall be Lord, and shall lose the relics, or remnants, of the city. And when he had seen Amalek, he took a parable, and said, Amalek is the beginning of heathen men, whose last things shall be lost. Also he saw Kenites, and when a parable was taken, he said, Soothly thy dwelling place is strong. But if thou shalt set thy nest in a stone, and shalt be chosen of the generation of Kenites, how long shalt thou be able to dwell? Soothly Ashur shall take thee. And when a parable was taken, or showed to him, he said again, Alas! Who shall live, when the Lord shall do these things? They shall come in great ships from Italy, they shall overcome Assyria, and they shall destroy Eber, and at the last also they themselves shall perish. And Balaam rose, and turned again into his place. And Balak went again by the way in which he came. Chapter 25. Soothly in that time Israel dwelled in Shittim. And the people did fornication with the daughters of Moab. Which daughters called them to their sacrifices, and they ate, and worshipped the gods of those daughters. And Israel made sacrifice to Baalpeor. And the Lord was wroth, and said to Moses, Take thou all the princes of the people, and hang them against the sun in gibbets, that my strong vengeance be turned away from Israel. And Moses said to the judges of Israel, Each man slay his neighbors, that made sacrifice to Baalpeor. And lo, one of the sons of Israel entered before his brethren to an whore of Midian, in the sight of Moses, and of all the company of the sons of Israel, which wept before the gates of the tabernacle. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, had seen this unshamefast doing, he rose from the midst of the multitude, and when he had taken a sword, he entered after the man of Israel into the whorehouse, and stick through both together, that is, the man and the woman, in the places of engendering. And the vengeance ceased from the sons of Israel, and 24,000 of men were slain. And the Lord said to Moses, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, priest, hath turned away my wrath from the sons of Israel. For he was moved against them by my fervent love, that I myself not do away the sons of Israel in my great ferventness of vengeance. Therefore speak thou to him, Lo, I give to him the peace of my covenant, and it shall be an everlasting covenant of priesthood, as well to himself as to his seed. For he loved fervently for his God, and he hath cleansed the great trespass of the sons of Israel. Forsooth the name of the man of Israel, that was slain with the woman of Midian, was Zimri, the son of Salu, duke, of the kindred and lineage of Simeon. Soothly the woman of Midian that was slain together with the whoreling, was called Cosbi, the daughter of Zur, the noblest prince of Midianites. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Midianites feel you enemies, and smite ye them. For also they have done enemy like against you, and deceived you by treasons, by the idol of Peor, and by their sister Cosbi, daughter of the Duke of Midian, which daughter was slain in the day of vengeance, for the sacrilege of Peor. Chapter 26. After that the blood of guilty men was shed out, the Lord said to Moses and to Eleazar, the priest, son of Aaron, Reckon ye all the number of the sons of Israel, from 20 years and above, by their houses, and their kindreds, all men that be able to go forth to battles. And so Moses and Eleazar, the priest, spake in the field places of Moab, over Jordan, against Jericho, to them that were of 20 years and above, as the Lord commanded, of which this is the number. Reuben, the first begotten of Israel. The son of him was Hanok, of whom came the family of Hanokites, and Palu, of whom came the family of Palouts, and Hezron, of whom came the family of Hezronites, and Carmi, of whom came the family of Carmites. These were the families of the generation of Reuben, of which families the number was found 43,730. The son of Palu was Eliab, The sons of him were Nemuel, and Dathan, and Abiram. These were Dathan and Abiram, princes of the people, that rose against Moses and Aaron, in the rebellion of Korah, when they rebelled against the Lord, and the earth opened his mouth, and devoured Korah, and full many men died, when the fire burnt 250. And a great miracle was done, that when Korah perished, his sons perished not. The sons of Simeon by their kindreds: Nemuel, of him was the family of Nemuelites; Jamin, of him the family of Jaminites; Jachin, of him the family of Jachinites; Zerah, of him the family of Zarhites; Shaul, of him the family of Shaulites. These were the families of Simeon, of which all the number was 22,200. The sons of Gad by their kindreds: Zephon, of him the family of Zephonites; Haggi, of him the family of Haggites; Shuni, of him the family of Shunites; Ozni, of him the family of Oznites; Eri, of him the family of Erites; Arad, of him the family of Aradites; Areli, of him the family of Arelites. These were the families of Gad, of which all the number was 40,500. The sons of Judah were and Onan, which both were dead in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Judah were these by their kindreds: Shelah, of whom came the family of Shelonites; Phares, of him the family of Pharzites; Zerah, of him the family of Zarhites. Soothly the sons of Phares were Hezron, of him the family of Hezronites; and Hamul, of him the family of Hamulites. These were the families of Judah, of which all the number was 70,500. The sons of Issachar by their kindreds: Tola, of him the family of Tolites; Puah, of him the family of Punites; Jashub, of him the family of Jashubites; Shimron, of him the family of Shimronites. These were the kindreds of Issachar, of which the number was 64,300. The sons of Zebulun by their kindreds: Serd, of him the family of Sardites; Elon, of him the family of Elonites; Jaleel, of him the family of Jaleelites. These were the kindreds of Zebulun, of which the number was 60,500. The sons of Joseph by their kindreds were Manasseh and Ephraim. Of Manasseh was born Machir, of him the family of Machirites. Machir begat Gilead, of him, the family of Gileadites. Gilead had these sons: Jezer, of him the family of Jezerites; and Helek, of him the family of Helekites; and Asriel, of him the family of Asrielites; and Shechem, of him the family of Shechemites; and Shemida, of him the family of Shemidites; and Hepher, of him the family of Hepherites. Soothly Hepher was the father of Zelophehad, that had not sons, but only daughters, of which these were the names: Mahlah, and Noah, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Tirzah. These were the families of Manasseh, and the number of them was 52,700. Soothly the sons of Ephraim by their kindreds were these: Shuthelah, of him the family of Shuthelhites; Becher, of him the family of Bachrites; Tahan, of him the family of Tahanites. Soothly the son of Shuthelah was Aaron, of him the family of Aaronites. These were the kindreds of the sons of Ephraim, of which the number was 32,500. These were the sons of Joseph, by their families. The sons of Benjamin in their kindreds: Bela, of him the family of Belites; Ashbel, of him the family of Ashbelites; Ahiram, of him the family of Ahiramites; Shuppam, of him the family of Shuphamites; Huppam, of him the family of Huphamites. The sons of Bela: Ard and Naaman. Of Ard, the family of Ardites; of Naaman, the family of Naamites. These were the sons of Benjamin by their kindreds, of which the number was 40,600. The sons of Dan by their kindreds: Shuam, of him the family of Shuamites. These were the kindreds of Dan by their families. All were Shuamites, of which the number was 64,400. The sons of Asher by their kindreds: Jimnah, of him the family of Jimnites; Hesui, of him the family of Jesuites; Beriah, of him the family of Berites. The sons of Beriah: Heber, of him the family of Heberites; and Malchiel, of him the family of Malchielites. Soothly the name of the daughter of Asher was Serah. These were the kindreds of the sons of Asher, and the number of them was 54,400. The sons of Naphtali by their kindreds: Jaziel, of him the family of Jazelites. Guni, of him the family of Gunites. Jezer, of him the family of Jezerites. Shillem, of him the family of Shillemites. These were the kindreds of the sons of Naphtali by their families, of which the number was 45,400. This is the sum of the sons of Israel, that were numbered, 600,000 and 1,730. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, The land shall be parted to these, by the number of names into their possessions. Thou shalt give the greater part to more men, and the less part to fewer men. Possession shall be given to all by themselves, as they be numbered now. So only that lot part the land to lineages and to families. Whatever thing befalleth by lot, either more, either fewer men, take that. Also this is the number of the sons of Levi by their families. Gershon, of whom is the family of Gershonites. Kohath, of him the family of Kohathites. Merari, of him the family of Merarites. These were the families of Levi. The family of Libni, the family of Hebron, the family of Mali, the family of Mushi, the family of Korah. And soothly Kohath begat Amram, which had a wife, Yishbed, the daughter of Levi, which daughter was born to him in Egypt. This Yishbed engendered to her husband Amram, sons, Aaron and Moses, and Marie, the sister of them. Nadab, and Abihu, and Eleazar, and Ithamar were begotten of Aaron, of which Nadab and Abihu were dead, when they had offered alien fire before the Lord. And all that were numbered of this lineage were 23,000 of male kind, from a month and above, which were not numbered among the sons of Israel, neither possession was given to them with other men. This is the number of the sons of Israel, that be described of Moses and Eleazar, priest, in the field places of Moab, over Jordan, against Jericho, among which none of them was that were numbered before of Moses and Aaron, in the desert of Sinai. For the Lord before said, that all should die in the wilderness, and none of them dwelled alive, but Caleb, Jephunneh's son, and Joshua, the son of Nun. Chapter 27. Soothly the daughters of Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, son of Gilead, son of Mashir, son of Manasseh, that was the son of Joseph, Nide. Of which daughters these be the names, Mahlah, and Noah, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moses, and Eleazar, the priest, and before all the princes of the people, at the door of the tabernacle of bond of peace, and said, Our father was dead in the desert, neither he was in the rebellion that was raised against the Lord under Korah, but he was dead in his sin. He had no male sons. Why is his name taken away from his family? For he hath no son. Give ye possession to us among our father's kinsmen. And Moses told their cause to the doom of the Lord. The which said to Moses, The daughters of Zelophehad ask a just thing. Give thou possession to them among their father's kinsmen, and be they successors to him into heritage. Forsooth thou shalt speak these things to the sons of Israel. When a man is dead without son, the heritage shall go to his daughter. If he hath no daughter, he shall have his heirs his brethren. That and if brethren be not, ye shall give the heritage to the brethren of his father. Soothly if he have no brethren of his father, the heritage shall be given to them that be next to him. And this shall be holy by everlasting law to the sons of Israel, as the Lord commanded to Moses. Also the Lord said to Moses, Go up into this hill of Abarim, and behold thou from thence the land, which I shall give to the sons of Israel. And when thou hast seen it, also thou shalt go to thy people, as thy brother Aaron went. For thou offendedst me in the desert of Zin, in the against-saying of the multitude, neither thou wouldest hallow me before the people, upon the waters. These be the waters of against-saying in Kadesh, in the desert of Zin. To whom Moses answered, The Lord God of the spirits of all flesh, purvey a man, that he be on this multitude, and that may go out, and enter in before them, and lead him out, and lead them in, lest the people of the Lord be as sheep without shepherd. And the Lord said to Moses, Take thou Joshua, the son of Nun, a man in whom the Spirit of God is, and put thine hand upon him, and he shall stand before Eleazar, the priest, and before all the multitude. And thou shalt give to him behests, in the sight of all men, and a part of thy glory, that all the synagogue of the sons of Israel hear him. If anything shall be worthy to be done for this man, Joshua, Eleazar, the priest, shall counsel the Lord. He shall go out, and shall go in, at the word of Eleazar, he, and all the sons of Israel with him, and the Topher multitude. Moses did as the Lord commanded, and when he had taken Joshua, he set him before Eleazar, the priest, and before all the multitude of the people, and when he had put his hands upon his head, he rehearsed all things that the Lord commanded. Chapter 28. Also the Lord said to Moses, Command thou to the sons of Israel, and thou shalt say to them, Offer ye by their times mine offering, and loaves, and incense of sweetest odor. These be the sacrifices which ye ought to offer: 2 lambs of 1 year, without wem, each day, into everlasting burnt sacrifice. Ye shall offer 1 lamb early, and the topher at eventide. The 10th part of ephah of tried flour, that shall be sprinkled with purest oil, and have it the 4th part of hin. It is continual burnt sacrifice, which ye offered in the hill of Sinai, into odor of sweetest incense to the Lord. And ye shall offer the 4th part of hin of wine, by each lamb, in the sanctuary of the Lord. And ye shall offer in like manner the topher lamb at eventide, by all the custom of the morrow sacrifice, and of the moist sacrifices thereof, an offering of sweetest odor to the Lord. Soothly in the Sabbath day ye shall offer 2 lambs of 1 year, without wem, and 2/10 parts of tried flour sprinkled together with oil, in sacrifice, and the moist sacrifices that be poured by custom, by all Sabbaths, into everlasting burnt sacrifice. Soothly in the calends, that is, in the beginnings of months, ye shall offer burnt sacrifice to the Lord, 2 calves of the drove, 1 ram, 7 lambs of 1 year, without wem, and 3/10 parts of flour sprinkled together with oil, in the sacrifice, by each calf, and 2/10 parts of flour sprinkled together with oil, by each ram, and the 10th part of the 10th of flour sprinkled together with oil, in the sacrifice, by each lamb. It is burnt sacrifice of sweetest odor, and of incense to the Lord. Soothly the moist sacrifices of wine, that shall be poured by all the slain sacrifices, shall be these: the 1/2 part of hin by each calf, the 3rd part by a ram, the 4th part by a lamb. This shall be the burnt sacrifices by each month, that come one after another while the year turneth about. Also a buck of goats shall be offered to the Lord for sins, into everlasting burnt sacrifice, with his moist offerings. Soothly in the 1st month, in the 14th day of the month, shall be Pasch, either passing, of the Lord, and in the 15th day shall be the solemnity of the loaves. By 7 days ye shall eat the loaves, of which the 1st day shall be worshipful and holy. Ye shall not do any servile work therein. And ye shall offer burnt sacrifice to the Lord, 2 calves, 1 ram, 7 lambs of 1 year, without wem. And the sacrifices of each by itself of flour, which be sprinkled together with oil, 3/10 parts by each calf, and 2/10 parts by a ram, and the 10th part of the 10th by each lamb, that is, by 7 lambs. And ye shall offer 1 buck of goats for sin, that cleansing be made for you, besides the burnt sacrifice of the morrowtide, which ye shall offer ever. So ye shall do by each day of 7 days, into the nourishing of fire, and into the sweetest odor to the Lord, that shall rise of the burnt sacrifice, and of the moist sacrifices of each offering. Also the 7th day shall be most solemn and holy to you. Ye shall not do any servile work therein. Also the day of the firstfruits, when ye shall offer new fruits to the Lord, when the weeks shall be fulfilled, shall be worshipful and holy. Ye shall not do any servile work therein. And ye shall offer burnt sacrifice to the Lord, into sweetest odor: 2 calves of the drove, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of 1 year, without wem. And in the sacrifices of those ye shall offer 3/10 parts of tried flour sprinkled together with oil, by each calf, 2/10 parts by the rams, the 10th part of the 10th by the lambs, which be altogether 7 lambs. And ye shall offer a buck of goats, which is offered for cleansing, besides burnt sacrifice everlasting, and the moist sacrifices thereof. Ye shall offer all things without wem, with their moist sacrifices. Chapter 29. Forsooth the 1st day of the 7th month shall be holy, and worshipful to you. Ye shall not do any servile work therein, for it is the day of sounding, and of trumps. And ye shall offer burnt sacrifice, into sweetest odor to the Lord, 1 calf of the drove, 1 ram, and 7 lambs of 1 year, without wem. And in the sacrifice of those ye shall offer 3/10 parts of tried flour sprinkled together with oil, by each calf, 2/10 parts by a ram, 1/10 part by a lamb, which together be 7 lambs. And ye shall offer a buck of goats, which is offered for sin, into the cleansing of the people, without burnt sacrifice of the beginning of months, with his sacrifices, and without the everlasting burnt sacrifice, with customable flowing offerings, and by the same ceremonies, or customs, ye shall offer incense, into sweetest odor to the Lord. Also the 10th day of this 7th month shall be holy and worshipful to you, and ye shall torment your souls. Ye shall not do any servile work therein. And ye shall offer burnt sacrifice to the Lord, into sweetest odor, 1 calf of the drove, 1 ram, 7 lambs of 1 year, without wem. And in the sacrifices of those ye shall offer 3/10 parts of flour sprinkled together with oil, by each calf, 2/10 parts by a ram, the 10th part of the 10th by each lamb, that be together 7 lambs. And ye shall offer a buck of goats for sin, without these things that be wont to be offered for sin into cleansing, and everlasting burnt sacrifice in the sacrifice, and flowing offerings of those things. Forsooth in the 15th day of the 7th month, that shall be holy and worshipful to you, ye shall not do any servile work, but ye shall hallow the solemnity to the Lord by 7 days, and ye shall offer burnt sacrifice, into sweetest odor to the Lord, 13 calves of the drove, 2 rams, 14 lambs of 1 year, without wem. And in the moist sacrifices of those ye shall offer 3/10 parts of tried flour sprinkled together with oil, by each calf, that be together 13 calves, and ye shall offer 2/10 parts to 2 rams together, that is, 1/10 part to 1 ram, and the 10th part of the 10th to each lamb, which be together 14 lambs. And ye shall offer a buck of goats for sin, without everlasting burnt sacrifice, and the sacrifice, and moist offering thereof. In the Totha day ye shall offer 12 calves of the drove, 2 rams, 14 lambs of 1 year, without wem. And ye shall hallow rightfully the sacrifices, and moist offerings of all, by the calves, and rams, and lambs. And ye shall offer a buck of goats for sin, without the everlasting burnt sacrifice, and the sacrifice, and the moist offering thereof. In the 3rd day, ye shall offer 11 calves, 2 rams, 14 lambs of 1 year, without wem. And ye shall hallow rightfully the sacrifices, and the moist offerings of all these, by the calves, and rams, and lambs. And ye shall offer a buck of goats for sin, without everlasting burnt sacrifice, and the sacrifice, and moist offering thereof. In the 4th day, ye shall offer 10 calves, 2 rams, 14 lambs of 1 year, without wem. And ye shall hallow rightfully the sacrifices, and the moist offerings of all, by the calves, and rams, and lambs. And ye shall offer a buck of goats for sin, without the everlasting burnt sacrifice, and the sacrifice, and the moist offering thereof. In the 5th day, ye shall offer 9 calves, 2 rams, 14 lambs of 1 year, without wem. And ye shall hallow rightfully the sacrifices, and moist offerings of all, by the calves, and rams, and lambs. And ye shall offer a buck of goats for sin, without everlasting burnt sacrifice, and the sacrifice, and moist offering thereof. In the 6th day, ye shall offer 8 calves, 2 rams, 14 lambs of 1 year, without wem. And ye shall hallow rightfully the sacrifices, and moist offerings of all, by the calves, and rams, and lambs. And ye shall offer a buck of goats for sin, without everlasting burnt sacrifice, and the sacrifice, and moist offering thereof. In the 7th day, ye shall offer 7 calves, 2 rams, 14 lambs of 1 year, without wem. And ye shall hallow rightfully the sacrifices, and moist offerings of all, by the calves, and rams, and lambs. And ye shall offer a buck of goats for sin, without everlasting burnt sacrifice, and the sacrifice, and moist offering thereof. In the 8th day, which is most solemn, ye shall not do any servile work, and ye shall offer burnt sacrifice, into sweetest odor to the Lord, 1 calf, 1 ram, 7 lambs of 1 year, without wem. And ye shall hallow rightfully the sacrifices, and moist offerings of all, by the calves, and rams, and lambs. And ye shall offer a buck of goats for sin, without everlasting burnt sacrifice, and the sacrifice, and moist offering thereof. Ye shall offer these things to the Lord, in your solemnities, without your vows, and your wilful offerings, in the burnt sacrifice, in the moist offering, and in peaceable sacrifices. And Moses told to the sons of Israel all things which the Lord commanded to him. Chapter 30. And he spake to the princes of the lineages of the sons of Israel, This is the word, which the Lord commanded, If any of men maketh a vow to the Lord, either bindeth himself by an oath, he shall not make void, or false, his word, but he shall fulfill all thing that he promised. If a woman that is in the house of her father, and is yet in the age of a young damsel, avoweth anything, either bindeth herself by an oath, her father knoweth the avow, that she promised, and the oath, by which she bound her soul, and he is still, she shall be guilty of that oath, if she break it. Whatever thing she promised, and swore, she shall fulfill in work. Forsooth if her father against said, anon as he heard, both vows, and her oaths shall be void, and she shall not be holden bound to the promise, for her father against said it. If she hath an husband, and she avoweth anything, and a word going out of her mouth, once bindeth her soul with an oath, in what day her husband heareth this, and against saith it not, she shall be guilty, or bound, to that vow. She shall yield, whatever thing she promised. But if the husband heareth it, and anon against saith, and maketh void all her promises, and words by which she bound her soul, the Lord shall be merciful to her. A widow, and a woman forsaken of her husband, shall yield, whatever thing they avow. When a wife in her husband's house bindeth herself by a vow, and an oath, if her husband heareth it, and is still, and against saith not her promise, she shall yield, whatever thing she promised. Soothly if the husband against said anon, she shall not be holden guilty of the promise, for her husband against said it anon, and the Lord shall be merciful to her. If she avoweth, and bindeth herself by an oath, that she torment her soul by fasting, either by abstinence of other things, it shall be in the doom of her husband, that she do that, either do it not. That if the husband heareth it, and he is still, and delayeth the sentence in the tother day, she shall yield whatever thing she avowed and promised, for he was still, anon as he heard. Soothly if her husband against said her avow, and her oath, after that he knew thereof, he shall bear his wickedness. These be the laws, which the Lord ordained to Moses, betwixt the husband and the wife, betwixt the father and the daughter, which is yet in the age of a young damsel, or that yet dwelleth in her father's house unmarried. Chapter 31. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Venge thou first the sons of Israel of Midianites, and so thou shalt be gathered to thy people. And anon Moses said, Arm ye men of you to battle, that be able to take of the Midianites the vengeance of the Lord. Of each lineage be chosen 1,000 men of Israel, that shall be sent to battle. And of each lineage they gave 1,000, that is, 12,000 of men, ready to battle, which Moses sent forth with Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the priest. And Moses betook to them holy vessels, and trumps to make sound. And when they had fought against Midianites, and had overcome them, Israel killed all the males, and the kings of them, Evi, and Rechem, and Zur, and Hur, and Reba, 5 princes of the folk of them. Also Israel killed with sword Balaam, the son of Beor. And Israel took the women of them, and their little children, and all their beasts, and all the pertinence of their household. Whatever they might have, they spoiled, that is, they destroyed. The flame burnt as well the cities, as little towns, and castles. And they took prey, and all things which they had taken, as well of men as of beasts, and they brought to Moses, and to Eleazar, the priest, and to all the multitude of the sons of Israel. Soothly they bare other usable things to their tents, standing in the field places of Moab, beside Jordan, against Jericho. Moses and Eleazar, the priest, and all the princes of the synagogue, went out into the coming of them, without the tents. And Moses was wroth to the princes of the host, to the tribunes, and the centurions, that came from the battle. And he said to them, Why kept ye women? Whether it be not these that deceived the sons of Israel, at the suggestion of Balaam, and made you to do trespass against the Lord, upon the sin of Peor, wherefore also the people was slain. And therefore slay ye all the men, whatever is of male kind, and the little children, and strangle ye the women that have known men fleshly. Soothly keep ye to you the young damsels, and all women virgins, and dwell ye without the tents 7 days. He that slayeth a man, or toucheth a slain man, shall be cleansed in the 3rd, and the 7th day. And of all the prey, whether it is cloth, or vessel, and anything made ready to things pertaining to use, of the skins and hairs of goats, and wood, it shall be cleansed. And Eleazar, the priest, spake thus to the men of the host that fought, This is the commandment of the law, which the Lord commanded to Moses, the gold, and silver, and brass, and iron, and tin, and lead, and all thing that may pass by flame, shall be purged by fire. Soothly whatever thing may not suffer fire, shall be hallowed with the water of cleansing. And ye shall wash your clothes in the 7th day, and ye shall be cleansed. And afterward ye shall enter into the tents. And the Lord said to Moses, Take ye the sum, or the number, of those things that be taken, from man till to beast, thou, and Eleazar, priest, and all the princes of the common people. And thou shalt part evenly the prey betwixt them that fought and went out to battle, and betwixt all the other multitude. And thou shalt separate a part to the Lord, of them that have fought, and were in battle, 1 soul of 500, as well of men, as of oxen, and of asses, and of sheep. And thou shalt give that part to Eleazar, the priest, for those be the firstfruits of the Lord. Also of the half part of the sons of Israel, thou shalt take the 50th head of men, and of oxen, and of asses, and of sheep, and of all living beasts. And thou shalt give those to the deacons, that watch in the keepings of the tabernacle of the Lord. And Moses and Eleazar did, as the Lord commanded. Forsooth the prey which the host had taken, was 675,000 of sheep, of oxen, 72,000, of asses, 60,000 and 1,000. The souls of the persons of womankind, that knew not men, were 32,000. And the half part was given to them that were in the battle, of sheep 337,000, and 500. Of which 675 sheep were numbered into the part of the Lord, and of 36,000 oxen, 72 oxen, and of 30,000 asses and 500, 61 asses. Of 16,000 persons of men, 32 persons befelled into the part of the Lord. And Moses betook the number of the firstfruits of the Lord to Eleazar, the priest, as it was commanded to him, of the half part of the sons of Israel, which he parted to them that were in battle. And of the half part that befell to the Totha multitude, that is, of 337,000 sheep and 500, and of 36,000 oxen, and of 30,000 asses and 500, and of 16,000 women, Moses took the 50th head, and he gave them to the deacons, that watch in the tabernacle of the Lord, as the Lord commanded. And when the princes of the host, and the tribunes, and the centurions had nigh to Moses, they said, We thy servants have told the number of fighters, which we had under our hand, or power, and soothly not one failed. For which cause we offer, or bring, to thee free gifts of the Lord, all by ourselves, that we might find of gold in the prey, girdles for the women's middles, and bands of the arms, and rings, and ornaments of the arm nigh the hand, and bands of the necks of women, that thou pray the Lord for us. And Moses and Eleazar, the priest, took all the gold in divers kinds, by the weight of the sanctuary, 16,750 shekels, of the tribunes, and the centurions. For that each man ravished in the prey, was his own. And they bare the gold taken into the tabernacle of witnessing, into mind of the sons of Israel, before the Lord. Chapter 32. Soothly the sons of Reuben and of Gad had many beasts, and cattle without number was to them, in work beasts. And when they had seen Jazer and Gilead, to be covenable lands to beasts to be fed, they came to Moses, and to Eleazar, the priest, and to the princes of the multitude, and said, Ataroth, and Dibon, and Jazer, and Nimrah, Heshbon, and Elalaah, and Shebam, and Nebo, and Beon, the land which the Lord smote in the sight of the sons of Israel, is of most plenteous country to the pasture of beasts, and we thy servants have full many beasts, and we pray thee, if we have found grace before thee, that thou give to us thy servants that country into possession, and make not us to pass Jordan. To whom Moses answered, Whether your brethren shall go to battle, and ye shall sit here. Why turn ye the thoughts of the sons of Israel, that they dare not pass into the place, which the Lord shall give to them? Whether your fathers did not so, when I sent him from Kadeshbarnea to espy the land, and when they came to the valley of Cluster, when all the country was compassed, they turned into fear the heart of the sons of Israel, that they entered not into the coasts, which the Lord had given to them. And the Lord therefore was wroth, and he swore, saying, These men that went up from Egypt, from 20 years of age and above, shall not see the land which I promised under an oath to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and would not follow me, except Caleb, Kenizzite, the son of Jephunneh, and Joshua, the son of Nun. These twain fulfilled my will. And the Lord was wroth against Israel, and led him about the desert by 40 years, till all the generation was wasted, that had done evil in the sight of the Lord. And Moses said, Lo, ye the increasings, and nourished children, of sinful men, have risen for your fathers, that ye should increase the strong vengeance of the Lord against Israel. That if ye will not follow the Lord, in the wilderness he shall forsake the people, and ye shall be cause of the death of all men. And they went nigh, and said, We shall make sheepfolds, and stables of beasts, and we shall make strengthened cities to our little children. Forsooth we ourselves shall be armed to defense, and shall be girded with arms to assailing, and shall go to battle before the sons of Israel, till we bring them into their places. Our little children, and whatever thing we may have, shall be in strengthened cities, for the treasons of the dwellers. We shall not turn again into our houses, till the sons of Israel wield their heritage, and we shall not ask anything over Jordan, for we have now our possession in the east coast thereof. To whom Moses said, If ye do that, that ye promise, be ye made ready, and go ye to battle before the Lord. And each fighting man be armed, and pass ye Jordan, till the Lord destroy his enemies, and all the land be made subject to him. Then ye shall be made guiltless with God, and with Israel, and ye shall wield the countries, which ye will, before the Lord. But if ye do not that, that ye say, It is no doubt to any man, that not ye sin against God. And know ye, that your sin shall take you. Therefore build ye cities to your little children, and folds, and stables to your sheep, and to beasts, and fill ye that ye have promised. And the sons of Gad and of Reuben said to Moses, We be thy servants. We shall do that our Lord commandeth. We shall leave our little children, and women, and our sheep, and beasts, in the cities of Gilead. Forsooth all we thy servants shall go ready to battle, as thou, Lord, speakest. Therefore Moses commanded to Eleazar, the priest, and to Joshua, the son of Nun, and to the princes of the families, by the lineages of Israel, and he said to them, If the sons of Gad, and the sons of Reuben, go all armed with you, to battle before the Lord, and the land be made subject to you, give ye to them Gilead into possession. But if they will not pass with you into the land of Canaan, take they then places to dwell among you. And the sons of Gad and the sons of Reuben answered, As the Lord hath spoken to his servants, so we shall do. We shall go armed before the Lord, into the land of Canaan, and we acknowledge, that we have taken now possession over Jordan. And so Moses gave to the sons of Gad, and of Reuben, and to half the lineage of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the realm of Sihon, king of Amorites, and the realm of Og, king of Bashan, and their land, with their cities, by compass. Therefore the sons of Gad builded Dibon, and Ataroth, and Aroer, and Atrath, Shiphan, and Jazer, and Jogbeah, and Bethnimrah, and Bethharan, strengthened cities, and folds to their beasts. Soothly the sons of Reuben builded Heshbon, and Eleleh, and Kiriathaim, and Nebo, and Baalmeon, when the names were turned, and they builded Shimmah, and they putted names to the cities, which they had builded. Soothly the sons of Mashir, the son of Manasseh, went into Gilead, and destroyed it, and they killed Amorite, the dweller thereof. Therefore Moses gave the land of Gilead to Mashir, the son of Manasseh, the which Mashir dwelled therein. Soothly Jair, the son of Manasseh, went, and occupied the towns thereof, which he called Havothjair, that is, the towns of Jair. Also Noba went, and took Kenath, with his towns, and called it, by his name, Nobah. Chapter 33. These be the dwellings of the sons of Israel, that went out of the land of Egypt, by their companies, in the hand of Moses and Aaron. Which dwellings Moses described by the places of tents, that were changed by commandment of the Lord. Therefore the sons of Israel went forth in an high hand from Ramesses, in the 1st month, in the 15th day of the 1st month, in the Tophah day of Pasch, that is, in the morrow of the offering of the lamb of Pasch, while all Egyptians saw, and the Egyptians buried their first-begotten children, which the Lord had slain, for the Lord took vengeance also upon their gods. The sons of Israel setted tents in Succoth, and from Succoth they came into Etham, which is in the last coasts of the wilderness. From thence they went forth, and came against Pihahiroth, which beholdeth Baalzephon, and setted tents before Migdol. And they went forth from Pihahiroth, and they passed through the midst of the sea into wilderness, and they went 3 days by the desert of Etham, and setted tents in Marah. And they went forth from Marah, and came into Elam, where were 12 wells of water, and 70 palm trees, and there they setted tents. But also they went forth from thence, and setted tents on the Red Sea. And they went forth from the Red Sea, and setted tents in the desert of Sin, from whence they went forth, and came into Dophkah. And they went forth from Dophkah, and setted tents in Alush. And they went forth from Alush, and setted tents in Rephidim, where water failed to the people to drink. And they went forth from Rephidim, and setted tents in the desert of Sinai. But also they went out of the wilderness of Sinai, and came to the sepulchres of covetousness, or lust. And they went forth from the sepulchres of covetousness, or lust, and setted tents in Hazeroth. And from Hazeroth they came into Rithmah. And they went forth from Rithmah, and setted tents in Rimmon-Pares, from whence they went forth, and came into Libnah. And from Libnah they setted tents in Rissah. And they went forth from Rissah, and came into Kehelatha, from whence they went forth, and setted tents in the hill of Shapha. And they went forth from the hill of Shapha, and they came into Haradah. From thence they went forth, and setted tents in Makelath. And they went forth from Makelath, and came into Tahath. From Tahath they setted tents in Terah. From whence they went forth, and setted tents in Mithkah. And from Mithkah they setted tents in Hashmona. And they went forth from Hashmona, and came into Moseroth. And from Moseroth they setted tents in Benajarkan. And they went forth from Benajarkan, and came into the hill of Gijad, from whence they went forth, and setted tents in Jotbatha. And from Jotbatha they came into Ebronah. And they went forth from Ebronah, and setted tents in Eziongeber. From thence they went forth, and came into the desert of Zin. This is Kadesh. And they went forth from Kadesh, and they setted tents in the hill of Hor, in the last coasts of the land of Edom. And Aaron, the priest, ascended into the hill of Hor, for the Lord commanded, and there he was dead, in the 40th year of the going out of the sons of Israel from Egypt, in the 5th month, in the 1st day of the month, when he was of 123 years old. And Canaanite, the king of Arad, that dwelled at the south, in the land of Canaan, heard that the sons of Israel came thither. And they went forth from the hill of Hor, and setted tents in Zalmonah. From thence they went forth, and came into Punon. And they went forth from Punon, and setted tents in Oboth. And from Oboth they came into Ayerbarim, that is, into the wilderness of Abarim, which is in the ends of Moabites. And they went forth from Ayerbarim, and they setted tents in Dibon of Gad. From whence they went forth, and setted tents in Almon of Diblathaim. And they went forth from Almon of Diblathaim, and they came to the hills of Abarim, against Nebo. And they went forth from the hills of Abarim, and passed to the field places of Moab, over Jordan, against Jericho. And there they setted tents, from Bethshesimoth till to Abelshittim, in the plainer places of Moabites, where the Lord spake to Moses, Command thou to the sons of Israel, and say thou to them, When ye have passed Jordan, and have entered into the land of Canaan, destroy ye all the dwellers of that country. Break ye the titles, that is, altars, and drive ye to powder the images, and destroy ye all high things, and cleanse ye the land, and all the men dwelling therein. For I have given to you that land into possession, which ye shall part to you by lot. To more men in number ye shall give larger land, and to fewer men in number straighter, or less, land, as the lot falleth to all men, so heritage shall be given. The possession shall be parted to lineages and families. But if ye will not slay the dwellers of the land, they, that abide, shall be to you as nails in the eyes, and as spears in the sides, and they shall be adversaries to you in the land of your habitation, and whatever thing I thought to do to them, I shall do to you. Chapter 34. And the Lord spake to Moses, and said, Command thou to the sons of Israel, and thou shalt say to them, When ye have entered into the land of Canaan, and it befall into possession to you by lot, it shall be ended by these ends. The south part shall begin at the wilderness of Zin, which is beside Edom, and it shall have the terms against the east, the saltiest sea, the which terms shall compass the south coast by the going up of the hill Scorpion, so that those terms pass into Zin, and come to the south, unto Kadeshbarnea, from whence the terms shall go forth to the town, Adar by name, and they shall stretch forth unto Asmon. And the term shall go by compass from Asmon unto the strand of Egypt, and it shall be ended by the brink of the great sea. Soothly the west coast shall begin at the great sea, and it shall be closed by that end. Soothly at the north coast, the terms shall begin at the great sea, and they shall come unto the highest hill, from which hill those terms shall come into Hamath, unto the terms of Zedad. And the coasts shall go unto Zephron, and to the town of Enon. These shall be the terms in the north part. From thence they shall meet the coasts against the east coast, from the town Enon to Shechem. And from Shechem the terms shall go down into Riblah, against the well of An. From thence those terms shall come against the east to the sea of Chinnereth. And those terms shall stretch forth till to Jordan, and at the last those shall be closed with the saltiest sea. Ye shall have this land by his coasts in compass. And Moses commanded to the sons of Israel, and said, This shall be the land which ye shall wield by lot, and which the Lord commanded to be given to the 9 lineages, and to the half lineage, for the lineage of the sons of Reuben, by their families, and the lineage of the sons of Gad, by their kindred and number, and half the lineage of Manasseh, that is, 2 lineages and an half, have taken their part over Jordan, against Jericho, at the east coast. And the Lord said to Moses, These be the names of men that shall part the land to you, Eleazar, the priest, and Joshua, the son of Nun, and of each lineage, 1 prince. Of which these be the names: of the lineage of Judah, Caleb, the son of Jephunneh; of the lineage of Simeon, Shemuel, the son of Ammihud; of the lineage of Benjamin, Elidad, the son of Chislon; of the lineage of the sons of Dan, Bukki, the son of Jolly; of the sons of Joseph; of the lineage of Manasseh, Haniel, the son of Ephod; of the lineage of Ephraim, Kemuel, the son of Shipton; of the lineage of Zebulun, Elizaphan, the son of Parnik; of the lineage of Issachar, Duke Paltiel, the son of Azan; of the lineage of Asher, Ahihud, the son of Shelemi; of the lineage of Naphtali, Pedahel, the son of Ammihud. These men it be, to which the Lord commanded, that they should part to the sons of Israel the land of Canaan. Chapter 35. And the Lord spake these things to Moses, in the field places of Moab, above Jordan, against Jericho, command thou to the sons of Israel, that they give to the deacons, of their possessions, cities to dwell in, and the suburbs of those by compass, that they dwell in the cities, and the suburbs be to beasts, and work beasts, which suburbs shall be stretched forth from the walls of the cities withoutforth by compass, in the space of 1,000 paces. Against the east coast shall be 2,000 cubits, and against the south in like manner shall be 2,000 cubits, and at the sea that beholdeth to the west shall be the same measure, and the north coast shall be ended by even term. And the cities shall be in the midst, and the suburbs withoutforth. Forsooth of those cities which ye shall give to deacons, 6 shall be separated into helps of fugitives, either of fleeing men, that he that shedded blood, flee to those. And besides these 6 cities, ye shall give to the deacons, other 42 cities, that is, altogether 48, with their suburbs. And those cities that shall be given of the possession of the sons of Israel, more cities shall be taken away from them that have more, and fewer from them that have less. All the sons of Israel by themselves shall give by the measure of their heritage, cities to the deacons. The Lord said to Moses, Speak thou to the sons of Israel, and thou shalt say to them, when ye have passed Jordan, in the land of Canaan, deem ye which cities ought to be into the helps of fugitives which not wilfully have shed blood. In which cities when the fleer hath fled, the kinsman of him that is slain shall not be able to slay him, till he stand in the sight of the multitude, and the cause of him be deemed. Forsooth of those cities that be separated to the helps of fugitives, 3 shall be beyond Jordan, and 3 in the land of Canaan. As well to the sons of Israel as to commonlings and pilgrims, that he flee to those cities, that shedded blood not wilfully. If any man smiteth a man with iron, and he that is smitten is dead, the smiter shall be guilty of manslaying, and he shall die. If he casteth a stone, and a man is dead by the stroke thereof, the caster shall be punished in like manner. If a man smitten with a staff dieth, he shall be venged by the blood of the smiter. The nigh kinsman of him that is slain shall slay the manslayer. Anon as he taketh the manslayer, he shall slay him. If by hatred a man hurtleth, either shoveth, a man, either casteth anything into him by ambushings, either when he was enemy to him, smite him with his hand, and he is dead, the smiter shall be guilty of manslaying. The kinsman of him that is slain, anon as he findeth him, that is, the slayer, shall slay him. That if by sudden case, and without hatred and enmities, a man doth anything of these, and this is proved, the people hearing, and the question of the blood, or death, is discussed betwixt the smiter and the kinsman of him that is slain, the innocent shall be delivered from the hand of the venger, and by sentence of judges he shall be led again into the city, to which he fled, and he shall dwell there, till the great priest die, which is anointed with oil. If the slayer is found without the coasts of the cities that be assigned to exiled men, and he is slain of him that is venger, he that slayeth him shall be without guilt, for the exiled man ought sit in the city till to the death of the bishop. Forsooth after that bishop is dead, the manslayer shall turn again into his land. These shall be everlasting and lawful things in all your dwellings. A manslayer shall be punished under witnesses. No man shall be condemned at the witnessing of one man. Ye shall not take price of him which is guilty of blood, or death, anon and he shall die. Men exiled, and fugitives, shall not be able to turn again in any manner into their cities, before the death of the bishop, lest ye defoul the land of your habitation, which is defouled by the blood of innocent men, and it may not be cleansed in other manner, no but by the blood of him, that shedded the blood of another man. And so your possession shall be cleansed, for I shall dwell with you, for I am the Lord, that dwell among the sons of Israel. Chapter 36. Soothly and the princes of the families of Gilead, the son of Machir, son of Manasseh, of the generation of the sons of Joseph, nighed, and spake to Moses before the princes of Israel, and said, The Lord commanded to thee our Lord, that thou shouldest part the land by lot to the sons of Israel, and that thou shouldest give to the daughters of Zelophehad, our brother, the possession due to their father. And if men of another lineage shall take to wives these daughters, their possession shall follow them, and it shall be translated to another lineage, and so it shall be decreased from our heritage. And so it shall be done, that when the Jubilee, that is, the 50th year of remission, cometh, the parting of lots be confounded, or fail, and that the possession of other men pass to other men. Moses answered to the sons of Israel, and said, For the Lord commanded, the lineage of the sons of Joseph hath spoken rightfully, and this law is announced of the Lord on the daughters of Zelophehad. Be they wedded to which men they will, only to the men of their lineage, lest the possession of the sons of Joseph be meddled from lineage into lineage. For all men shall wed wives of their lineage and kindred. And each daughter, that shall have the heritage, shall be wife to one man of the kindred of her father, and lineages be not meddled to themselves, but dwell so, as those be parted of the Lord. And the daughters of Zelophehad did, as it was commanded to them. And Mahlah, and Tirzah, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Noah, were wedded to the sons of their father's brother, of the family of Manasseh, that was the son of Joseph, and the possession that was given to them, dwelled in the lineage, and in the family, of their father. These be the commandments and dooms, which the Lord commanded, by the hand of Moses, to the sons of Israel, in the field places of Moab, above Jordan, against Jericho.